Hey, how the hell are you? We've got a new setup because I'm on vacation. I'm at my parents' place. Did a 7-hour drive, and we are taking over the basement. And I'm set up in a completely different setup. Uh, I've had to get creative with the camera stuff, so you'll have to let me know how the quality is. Other than not having the right lighting. Um, and the night neat setup. But I'm set up for this one. If you have not been following along with the Copa America, this could be the first time Canada advances in a major international tournament as we're looking to move on into the quarterfinals. And to do that, it's the math is simple. The math is simple. You win, you're in. You lose, you're out. If you draw, it gets a little bit interesting. I'll talk about that. If you lose, despite having beat Peru, 1-0 in the last game. This is the consequence, and I've talked about this in previous stuff. And hi to everybody who's here. Send a shout out if you can to let me know that I've got you guys here and large and in charge. I am okay with goal differential separating winners from losers over a long season where you play 46 games, where the team changes between the September window, the January transfer window. There's injuries that end up playing as affecting form on any given day. Fair. But here, this is a circumstance where with a Canadian loss and a Peruvian win. Hi, Marie. How are you? It looks good. I'll tell you, it's way different down here. My dad's into cars, and so there's cars everywhere in front of me and behind me. This is like the one angle that doesn't have a car in it, so I took it. So a little bit different as, the 7-hour journey, and I've got the loved ones upstairs, and we'll do this. I hate the idea of in a short tournament where if Peru beats an Argentinian team who's not playing their top lineup, it's still a good lineup. It's Argentina, let's be honest. But they are not playing their top roster. Messi's not starting for this one, but may come off the bench. The fact that because Argentina's already through, they could play their C team and they could stand in the pitch and spin around in circles. Portugal did this against Georgia in the Euros. They didn't put in their top lineup. They lost and Georgia made it in. Yes, I am happy with the basement. And I'm hoping I get the opportunity to do something in my own man cave once we move out and actually set things up properly for once. In any event, not so happy about that. Listen, I'm ready for this one. I've gone and done the beer and clam. I never get to do evening games. It's always coffee just to get me fired up. So if you're not from Canada and you don't do beer and clam, clamato juice, it's basically tomato juice where they take clam broth and they put it in there. And I, like those in the center of Canada, mix it with my beer. So I'm going to be drinking beer and clam and hopefully celebrating the Canadian win. Chile hasn't scored yet in this tournament. Just don't do it now. A draw is fine. A draw gets us in, subject to Peru and Argentina. But it also opens things up for a win. So a win, we're in. A loss, we're out. A draw, we look at the Argentinian-Peruvian game, which is going on concurrently. I'll have it on picture-in-picture here so I can try to follow along as to what's going there. Marie's doing wine. Let us know what are you drinking? And what is the odd drink that would be wherever you are from? Because when I sat there, you can actually get clamato juice at Sainsbury's in the UK. And so I was drinking clam and carling while I was over there, and didn't go over well with the in-laws, let me tell you that much. So expect a couple of misclicks here as I'm going through things, and the format's a little bit different, and my setup's a little bit abnormal. I'm actually watching on the big screen for this one, and I have to remember that if I'm going to jump up and down, not to hurt myself. Because I'm getting the audio from my laptop, which is synced perfectly to the TV. It is an odd creation as we figure this one out. As to the lineups, I've got the Canadian one up there. I'll go to the roster as it rolls through normally. Cripple obviously getting the start in net. He's taken over for Borjan. St. Clair was given an opportunity, but he's not going to stick in. That one makes sense to me. You can't go with anybody else with Maxime. The only changes are in our midfield. Richie Larea draws in. He'll be on the right side of the midfield. He's going to be in it. Because Davies is going to be in the back, and so he'll be in the midfield. Jonathan Osorio also drawing in. I can get Osorio because you've got to get him a start. You got to see exactly what he's got. He hasn't been bad. He hasn't been great, but I think he'll be fired up for this one. Obviously, having roots in Colombia, starting a match in the Copa America as he just shows up on the TSN broadcast to talk right on cue, as it were. I can understand him going in there. The shock for me, Larea over Buchanan. You've got Inter Milan, Serie A man, a young kid. I would have anticipated that he would have gotten an opportunity and continued opportunity. To be fair, he started in the game against Argentina. He came in the partway through the Peru game to get an opportunity to show himself. He didn't really accord for himself very well. I will say Larea going in for Kone, that's also a bit of a shocker. Kone, Jekyll and Hyde. He's either amazing or he's not good at all. He's had 2 games in the Copa America where he hasn't looked solid. The last game against Peru, he had like 4 or 5 giveaways right at the start. The game against France, he was the star. He was rock solid. He was the best player of the game, both sides. He owned it, and that's the joy, I guess, of being 21 years of age and trying to figure out what you are and who you are. So Larea, we're going to go with experience instead of the young guy. We're going to go with Osorio and his roots over Buchanan, mix those guys up a little bit. And the best move that we have, and I called for it in the last match, Schaffelberg getting the start over Liam Miller. Miller hasn't looked solid, to be completely frank. Preston North End was all talking rave reviews and saying how he's destined to go up and be somewhere. He just couldn't connect, and him and Davies didn't mesh well. So they tried to push Davies up to the midfield. Didn't really, with Larea, didn't really work. So now Schaffelberg came in, and things happen. Every time Schaffelberg comes on, things happen. And so they decided to bring him in from the offset, and away we go. The weather in Orlando, where this game is kicking off, they've had thunderstorms, and they had a warning and a watch just 2 hours ago where everybody was out of the bowl. And it looks like it's going to go. So we are 22 minutes away. I've talked about most of what I've talked about. Let me have a moment just to wet my whistle. Fascinating. I'm so stoked for this. I'm just going to bring up the Chile one, and then I'll talk about what this means generally, as I'm on the wrong thing. Give me a second. Here's the shocker for Chile. Bravo not coming in. And I'm not 100% certain. I don't even think that the broadcasters were 100% certain whether it's an injury, whether it's politically related with the club. There was some conversation of the head coach wanting to watch from the stands and getting into trouble with CONMEBOL, all that sort of stuff. So I'm not 100% certain exactly why Bravo is not in. He has been, how many caps has he had? 140? It's been ridiculous. The guy's been around forever. Bravo. It would have been his 150th cap today, if I've got that right. Today would have been his 150th cap, and instead they've taken away the milestone. I don't know exactly what's happening there, but other than that, they've got their regular lineup going up there, and really, who are you looking for? You're looking for Alexis Sanchez, despite the fact that the man is 35 years of age. He still pockets the ball, and with him as well, Eduardo Vargas. They've been 35, 34, mixing the drink, doing everything for Chile for an extended period of time. Look, what does this game mean for Canada? You go through, if you were watching FS1 match broadcasting, talking about this game, and I had an opportunity to catch some of that, just the highlights, is the sense that I got from the FS1 American broadcasters with this, the fact that Canada could potentially advance through this part of the tournament was a shock to them. And I don't think it's fair to be a shock, but for us as voyageurs or fans of Les Rouges, the Canadian team, this has been a question of who are we. During the World Cup qualifying, we were throttling people. We drew Mexico in Mexico, which is an impossible outcome when many teams don't end up securing. We beat them at home. We drew and beat the U.S., if I recall correctly. We were top of the table. At the end of the day, we were top of the table for Concacaf World Cup qualifying, and we were looking like we were ready to announce ourselves onto the scene. So what happens after that? We don't get any results out of the World Cup other than we scored our first goal. We only appeared twice in World Cups, 1986 and the most recent one. And we've had 2 goals, but we had to wait how many years before we ended up getting them. So that was kind of the goal, was just get them. But there was disappointment. We expected that we'd be able to show better against an aging Croatian side, as an example, and get a result, and we didn't. So, okay, are we not who we think we are? Are we kings of CONCACAF? They're top 15 ranked teams. Is that where we should sit, or what happened? So let's get into the qualifications for this Copa America, and what ends up happening. We lose to Jamaica. Now, this isn't to be an insult to Jamaica. Jamaica's a fascinating product. They have all of the individual players to just absolutely chew it up, and they just can't seem to put it together in a match. Oh, the feedback, Marie, and I guess I should bring that up. Let me make sure that this is working as well. The feedback for the Jesse Marsh. I mean, he's only had what, this is his fifth game now. He's had a 4-0 drubbing to the Netherlands, a 0-0 France, a loss to Argentina, and then a win. He is golden. We're playing an exciting brand of football. We've had the press. He seems to be drawing expectations out of those players. It's taken some time to necessarily connect things. But Jesse Marsh, the former Leeds man, a lot of people in England were chuckling and saying he's not the guy. But he's better than what we had. And so you take it, and more importantly, we've got a result finally. Why am I hearing myself coming back? Fascinating. Just give me a second here to find out exactly where that's coming from. There we go. Hearing voices in my own head. Unfortunately, it's my own. So I think it's I still wait and see with Jesse Marsh, but it's certainly a lot of love to start out with. We're playing an exciting brand of football. We're letting the players end up deciding things instead of just setting up tactically and setting and backing up men behind the ball and that sort of stuff. We're letting the guys play. So let's take that. I think he's going to get a lot of leverage. I mean, Jonathan Herdman, who came in from the women's program, he had a lot of credit with him. The women's program, I mean, they're the defending Olympic champions. They've been sniffing around in the top 4 World Cups for 3-4 years in a go. What's my outlook on the game? Chile is struggling to score. I think this is going to be a 0-0 game and a 1-0 game. I'm going to secretly have, well, I'm not secretly, I'm going to have the match, the Argentina-Peru match on in picture because I can see this resulting in a 0-0, 1-1 draw. I would like to see that we can do more than that. Chile plays through the midfield, which is why I think it's interesting we've gone with changes in the midfield. I would have rolled the dice with Kone. And to the point that I even would have said, you're going to get 20 minutes. You prove that you're going to be the guy or you're not. And if you're going to be the guy, like he was against France, you pull him out. We've gone with Larea, he plays on the back line. He'll play up front. He'll play in the mids. He's everywhere. He's not set up. And Chile is going to pound us through the midfield. And we're going to bust everything up through the wings. So it's going to be an interesting strategic game to end up following and seeing where we're going to end up and how this is going to go. As my audio goes out, which would set me off with this, which would be fascinating and unfortunate if it does do this. So we'll figure out exactly what happens there. And so, yeah, 0-0-1-1, and I actually think that Argentina-Peru game is probably going to decide it, and I hate that. And I hate that. We've already beat them, Peru, and Argentina's not playing their A squad, and I think that's trouble. I haven't even been following the Copa America as far as the U.S. because I was in transport, so you'll have to tell me what the outcome was in that game, and I don't have access to my phone. Did they lose to someone other than Bolivia? Like they handled Bolivia, but it wasn't impressive. Schaffelberg, let's bring him up. You'll see him right in the middle of the screen, at the bottom of the screen, number 14. And other than that, the fact that his hair is curly, whether it's permed or whether that's natural, I've never asked. They call him the Maritime Messi. That's the nickname. Brilliant. And he scored in the Inter Miami game for Nashville SC, and he got a wink from Messi on what was a beautiful goal. And so if you're talking who is our guy, he doesn't have the finish. But you saw that assist if you were watching the Peru game. Kyle Larin got the ball up to him on the left-hand side, got a brilliant pass, moved it along. Jonathan David goes walking in and is able to find the far post. And so that's the guy who stirs the drink. Now, the question with Schaffelberg is he more, even though he's young, is he more with his energy better suited to come in late in the game when everybody's on last legs and can kind of wear them down and outpace them? Is he okay to bring in at the start? I guess we'll find out. I think that the difference between Schaffelberg and Liam Miller is night and day. I've not sold on Liam Miller at all. His passing, if it's on, is good, but the game is too fast for him at this level, and I haven't seen him figuring it out. New venue tonight. Yes, for those of you who are joining late, I've done the 7-hour trip up for its Canada Day long weekend. Canada Day, the birth of our country, 1867. July 1st is on Monday, and so we've got the long weekend, so I extended it up, and I'm up here enjoying everything that is my parents' place, which is a lot of food and beer, which I know that doesn't look like beer, but if you're also following along, it's beer and clam, and I'm going to be able to, for the first time, I think, during a watch party, partake, because usually it's coffee, and away we go. So, yikes. That's fascinating. Now I need to bring this up. While they're doing the thing, and I apologize, I'm on a glass table, so I'm trying not to make it ting all the way through. Let's bring up the Copa America. And so if you got an opportunity to bring up the Peru-Argentina match, it's certainly relevant. They're going to simultaneously cast them, obviously, because it matters as to the results. Peru, to be able to get in, they need a Canadian loss, and they need to just win by one. They win, they're in. If Canada ends up drawing or losing, or actually, no, if they draw, Peru can get in. If Chile wins and Canada loses, then Chile is in. So all three teams are playing for something. The only team that isn't is Argentina. And that's fascinating. I've got to now bring up the Copa America wiki just to see where we're at, because I'll admit during the travel, I didn't do it with the kids. Always fun to travel. Turned a 5.5-hour trip into a 7.5-hour trip. And a lot of fun. So, Venezuela, Ecuador, Mexico. See, and that's fine. That's going to be Mexico and Ecuador figuring out who advances. Venezuela's moving on. They'll be the top team. So that could be a Venezuela-Canada match. Well, it would be. Whoever wins from this is going to end up getting that squad. So it's likely to be Venezuela unless there's a whole bunch of stuff that happens. So that would give us Venezuela. Mexico would end up with Argentina in the first match, and then we'll see who plays in the semis. On the bottom half of the draw, yeah, the U.S. with all of their chat, they're at home and they lost to Panama. Ha! That is gross. No, do I say no disrespect to Panama? I'll say it. Disrespect to Panama. I mean, they're the fifth and arguably sixth best team in Concacaf. They had themselves a good qualification. They made themselves through, but Honduras is usually there, and I would put them better and higher. Jamaica has more individual talent, but can't put together it on a team. I would still put them better than Panama. And the U.S. ended up coughing that one up. Yikes. Yikes. Way of the young guy, eh? Interesting. Tragic. And Uruguay beat the Qatar out of Bolivia, and Uruguay has been one of the teams that has looked like the class of the tournament from the limited stuff that I've been watching. And so you've got Bolivia versus Panama, U.S. versus Uruguay, and a Panamanian win, and a 2-for-1. So with the goals for, Panama against Bolivia, and they should be able to handle that one. Let's be fair. What a mess that the U.S. has put themselves in. And then the bottom one, Brazil ends up coming back against Paraguay, which Brazil, to be fair, looking like garbage recently, which is fascinating to talk about. I think the bottom half of that draw is then a mess, and you've got Argentina probably looking and licking its lip other than the challenge from Venezuela. Do I think that Canada's going to knock Venezuela out? No. No, but I hope we can. So you never know in a one-gamer, right? Go in with a ticket and in with a chance, so you go and you try and take it out, and I hope that we have that opportunity to do it. So, I'm trying to get caught up with the broadcast. It looks like my Wi-Fi is different than my Ethernet stream, so I'm going to be connecting it back and forth. But this is a massive one. Just going back to the Canada stuff that I was talking about before. We struggled at the World Cup. We were kings of the Concacaf. Then we end up having a dispute with the governing body and what's going to happen there, and protests, and we don't get games arranged, and we're missing out playing games during international windows. And then we finally get at it, and we try to qualify for Copa America, and we end up losing to Jamaica when Jamaica scores 3 goals to end up winning it. We were up on aggregate by 2, and they end up scoring 3 to take it. So we've got to play against Trinidad and Tobago, and we easily ended up qualifying. But what a mess it took for us to get here. And so who are we as Team Canada? Are we the kings of CONCACAF? Can we punch with the United States and with Mexico? I think we can. But then we try to show it off to the world, and we end up looking like complete garbage. So we're getting into it. Here is the Canadian roster as it rolls through and gives you an idea as to who's playing. Jonathan Osorio, right there, he's going to get called upon. Roots with Colombia. That's where his parents are from, and he played down there for a while. 74th cap, 74th cap today. And so he'll be having his show. So it looks like they're just dealing with the consequences of tournament football, right? So we'll see how this one boils down in Orlando. I chuckled during the start of this. They showed the Canadian team bus rolling into the game, and it was a hell of a lot of Chilean flags, but you could hardly tell because with their jerseys because everybody's wearing red. So it looks very Canadian, but I can tell you from looking at the flags and those interrupting the appearance of Team Canada at the stadium driving up, the bus had to move very slowly. It took a while to get there, so. God, I am nervous. And as they go, I'm going to see which channel it's on TSN Plus, the other game. So let me load up the TSN Plus matchup with, will they give it to me? Because I don't want to refresh my stream. No, and it won't. So I might worry about that later, but I'm not going to worry about that now. I was going to bring it up with the Copa America. So if you have that stream, you can feel free to let me know. I'm not going to bring up, maybe I don't want to look it up, what's happening there. Just focus on this one and figure it all out. The referee, Wilmore Roldan, he is exceptionally experienced, and I like that. This whole tournament has been very physical, and interestingly enough, Chile and Peru, both of their managers complaining about Canada's physicality in the games that have been happening. Whoa. I need you to go upstairs, little man. Is the big guy. Do you want to come and say hi to everybody and then take off and go upstairs and hang out with Yaya and Dookie? Come say hi. There, you can just wave. See? Everybody's face is... Hello. Well, that's my face. There you go. Hello. Okay, can you go upstairs for me? Thanks. Love you. National anthem time. The arguing about the physicality, and Chile and Peru, leading the competition for most fouls. Lots of diving, lots of moving around. William Roldan, experienced referee. We have had a lot of controversy. Actually, the TSN broadcast 2 hours ago had the MLS and Canada's World Cup official come on and discuss why weren't there red cards for the headbutt that happened, and talking about how in Copa America they tend to allow things to be a little bit more physical after the whistle, and that it's expected. Yeah, fortunately, I married well, and my wife is gorgeous, and the kids don't look really much like me, to be fair. Good for them, because they'll be all right. So they've got a quarter Egyptian roots in them. Fun for football, because they can support England. Mum's nationality, Scotland, that's most of mine. Wales, because that's a significant portion of mine. Canada, or Egypt, and it's kind of, they've got all sorts of roots and fun to cheer for, should they end up so choosing. Oh, the anthem. Does it not get you pumped every time you hear it? Yours, mine, whoever, whatever, like it's go time. Oh. Get into it, lads. Like this could be history. We've never won a game at a major international tournament, or not won a game. We've never advanced beyond the group stage in any significant international tournament, and that doesn't count the Gold Cup. That doesn't count the qualifiers. We've been top of the table. We've won a Gold Cup, or two of them, I believe. That doesn't count. This is the Copa America and the World Cup. Copa America is the largest international tournament in the world, or the longest, oldest international tournament in the world. They only have a lacrosse team? I am Canadian. I'm based out of Vancouver. If you're also watching on the Global Red Horde, or the Global Watch Along, which is the channel I'm getting started, I follow a lot of Wrexham football, and so I have the Red Horde as another page at the Red Horde on YouTube, at the Red Horde on socials. You can go over there and hit a subscribe if you want to. I will be there for Wrexham stuff, and if you are from Wrexham, Ah, yes. And so are you in Canada? Is that the team? And I forget what they're largely based in Ontario. That's been. I mean, they've won a couple of world championships and been up near the top of the lacrosse competition. I'm not that involved with it, but I'm curious if you're based out of there or not. I forgot where you were. In any event, yeah. So if you're on the Red Horde, I'm on Global Watch Along. You can go hit subscribe there and back forward. Woo-wee! I hope not. I think this is going to be a draw. I've called it. It's 0-0 or 1-1. Chile hasn't scored yet in the tournament. I think Maxime Croupeau is good enough to save us when we get into trouble. I think that the teams are equally matched. I'm interested in watching the battle in the midfield because you're going to see us build through the wings. You're going to see Chile come at us through the middle, and we'll figure it out. Josh, how are you? You've got the Argentina game there in LA. That should be fun. There you go. Peru, Argentina, FS1, Canada, Chile. We get FS2. We're so backup that even though we're the only one that both teams are affected, but we take the backup. Awesome. Yeah, I was hoping to get it to pop up here with the live on because I've got the subscription, but I don't want to refresh my thing to bring it up. So I'm just going to leave it as it is because then I can focus on this one, and I'll let you guys tell me what's happening over there, and I will bring up the Chilean graphics. There they are. And they can run through so you get an idea as to who we're facing here. Larea, David, and Schaffelberg. So we're not going to do a 4-3-3. We're going to go with a 4-2-3-1 this time with Kyle Laren up front. Interesting. So we're matching up more with their formation, which is intriguing to me because not normally what we do. And that allows for Larea to move on the wings. Again, we're going to be through the wings and lots of pressure on Osorio. Osorio and what he can do in the midfield, probably a determining factor in this game because he's going to be into it. He's going to see a lot of ball, and we decided not to go with Kone. We decided to go with Osorio. I probably wouldn't have done that. To be fair, I like Osorio. He's steady. He doesn't have as high a ceiling, and having Kone out there, if Kone was on, he would own the Chilean midfield as he did against France. The problem is when he doesn't have it, he wouldn't own the San Marino midfield. So what do you do? Anyway, it'll be interesting to see how Roldan actually does this. He was the referee 2014-2018 World Cup. He's very familiar with Copa America. The after the whistle stuff. We'll see what he ends up doing. He's willing to make the calls, and that's what's interesting because I think the referee in the Peru game not willing to make those calls. As we went through it, I'm going to have to get the scoreboard up and set as we start to look to flip the coins in Orlando for this one. Amidst the rain, it was muggy, but not as much heat as they had in the last one, so different dynamics as far as the weather is concerned. Oh, let's go. And I hate our jerseys. Those whites are ugly. Tell me they don't look like pajamas. Like, I have a set of pajamas from when I was a kid that I'm sure photos of them that look exactly like that. Our reds are stylish, but Nike did us dirty. And I think a lot of teams. France has the same thing, just with different colors. Whatever. 4-2-3-1. So Arias getting the start instead of Bravo. That's going to be interesting. And everything for them is through the midfield. Lichnowsky obviously been impressive in the last two, but Echeverria and Nunez. It's going to be the battle of them versus Osorio and Estacio. And Estacio, he's one of the best in the world. So I'm fully confident in his ability. And then you go Vargas up front. Oh, and they're counting it down. I got to get to the scoreboard. I'm glad that they do this because it triggers it all up for me. And here comes the kickoff again. I can hit the start button. And you guys, oh, and they're not ready. They did the big countdown, and normally they do that to start the kickoff. But the ball's sitting there waiting for everybody to show up. God, I'm nervous. Like I didn't expect with the Canadian stuff I'd feel more. I won't say it's different than Wrexham nerves because the Wrexham nerves have been. You expect us to do well, and when we don't, it's harmful. Here, I want us to announce ourselves on the world stage. We've been kicking around for 4 or 5 years trying to do it, and this is our chance. This is our chance. You get through this, and you get a Venezuela match, and away we... Oh, I thought he blew the whistle, but I guess he didn't. False alarm. And we're underway. Whew. We control what happens to us. If we win, we're in. That's all we worry about. We draw, we got to start watching the scoreboard. We lose, we've done it to ourselves. And Bombito gets it to Alistair. And looking at the pitch, it looks thick. And I don't know if that's because of the rain, but it looks thick. And Arias kicks it out, and away we go. Underway, throw in on the right-hand side. If you're not watching this one, thanks, Thomas. I appreciate that one. Jason's logging in. I hope all is well with you, sir, and everything that's been going on in your universe. Exciting times and fun times, I'm sure. No sleepy times. Cleared out again. Alistair with another throw-in. Tell me if you're watching this one too. Like the pitch looks torn up, not just sodden from rain that has potentially gone through from the storm and the thunderstorm that powered through, but it looks bumpy and torn apart. Right? Yeah. No, Paul Mullen. David is nothing like Paul Mullen as a striker. Thrown into the box, attempted header. It's right there for. Oh, did we have a collision of heads? It's blown down. Looks heavy and torn apart. So, and anyway, going back to the comment about as we've got a player down with a head collision. I didn't see the significance of it. They haven't shown a replay of it. The Schaffelberg is Mullen as far as work rate, as far as his passing, as far as the type of style that he plays, and even how he runs and looks. Number 14, David is a poacher. He plays a completely different game, although he is the scorer on our team, like Mullen is. He's a completely different character as far as he's maybe got a boot to him, but different play. I've been joking that the Maritime Messi, Schaffelberg, very separate. Fired, Josh, fired. You've got an iconic symbol in our jersey, or in our flag, a maple leaf. Incorporate it. Do something with it. We don't need the standard, hey, we're going to give stripes to everybody, but not 3 stripes because that's Adidas. So we're going to give lots of thin stripes, and we're going to give that jersey out to everybody. And so here's yours, Canada. You get one color. It's white and red. So it's got to be a drop ball to us. Larea going to have it and clear it back. And now here we go. Johnston from the right side. Look to serve that up, man. He's used to big pressure games, physical games. Again, Rangers, Celtic. Lots of fights in that one, and scrambles and battles. And so he'll be ready for everything that comes from the South American squad. And then the 2 young guys in the center back position. And if you haven't been following along before, our center back, David lets that one go through to him from Kyle Larin. And there's Osario, a little heavy to Larea, but that's going to get headed out for a corner. And here comes Eustachio. I'm going to set that one out, and this will be a right-footed outswinger away. Oh, no. Oh, no, we're not doing this, are we? Jonathan Davies, I love you. You're lightning fast. You're an amazing footballer. You're the best that the country has ever seen physically other than Christine Sinclair in the women's game. But set pieces is not your game. That's Stefan Eustachio's game. And Eustachio is the best on the team in that game. So I don't want you serving up useless, flat corners. Can we get Eustachio in to serve, please? But he's the captain. And I don't think he should be. I think Eustachio should be. But all told, do I think that Davies is a better footballer than Eustachio? Yes. But you've got to go with where their assets are and where their strengths are. And we've got another player down on the pitch. Is Chile taking a beating? Talking about the physicality of the Canadian players. We're just bullies. We're just flexing our muscle. We're so mean. Love him, but he hasn't been playing well. I've actually thought that him and Adekube, if you'll remember, Adekube played as a left back for us during the World Cup qualifying. We're starting to decline, which I thought was odd given their age. I mean, Adekube's a little older, 29, I think, now off the top of my head. See, another flat ball, short post. I want something a little bit more pacey and a little bit more lift to allow us to get up to that. It's Schaffelberg gets knocked down, and now we're laying on the ground. And it's going to get cleared away. Richie Larea pushed into the back. Free kick to us. Schaffelberg must be okay. His hips looked like, well, maybe they were lying. As he seems to be all right now. On the opposite side, flicks it through to Kyle Larin. Larin looking, can he find David in the middle? I say David because of his League One connections, plays for Lille. Leading scorer for Lille, second leading scorer in the entire League One competition after only Mbappe. And it's physical. It's what you've anticipated from a Copa America game. Yep. But just ignore it. Just ignore it. All I want to... Let's make it easy and let's just get Argentina to fill the net against Peru early. Let's put it to bed and let's just worry about a draw. Horrible, horrible, horrible plan. I'd rather focus on the Canadian win. Interesting. They were just saying on the broadcast, the last time that Chile did not get out of the group stage was 2004. That is a hell of a long time. A decade of advancing through things, and here they're at risk of that. If it's a draw, they're done. I didn't see anything happen in the back of the legs there of any significance, but man, he must be dying. Bombito, one of our center backs. Okay, got him in the back of the heel. The form was great on that. Like, there are flops and then there are flops. And that's not a flop, but I mean the artwork on that, the expression, you have to give it to him artistically. Oh, he gave Bombito the yellow. Well done, Davila. That's unfortunate. Bombito and Cornelius, relevations for the Canadian squad. Kamal Miller is our next best option there, and he has no foot pace for this level. And you saw that in the last game as Davila's still looking to milk it. Oh, that could have been a red card. Bombito is on fire here. Kyle Laren, if you saw his face on the replay, Kyle Laren with a little... So Bombito, earlier on, not just that challenge with the step on the back of the heels, which was a step on the back of the heels. Bombito has come out to this game aggressively. Bombito earlier in their Schaffelberg trying to make a mess out of things and get involved, and that's what he does. His work rate is higher than anybody on the pitch at all times. During the interplay moments ago, 2 minutes before the incident with stepping on the back of the heels, he got an elbow and he smashed him in the jaw. They said the force was negligible, and I guess that's why there wasn't a red card in the match, in the Peruvian match when Johnson got headbutted. Is they're judging the forces of head contact, not just the fact that the head contact occurred, but. Upstairs, you too. I love you guys, but you got to go upstairs. Love you. Got to do a better job with the telling the grandparents to rope those kids in. Schaffelberg, long ball, looking for Kyle Laren. He's got nowhere to run, tries to run into a body, and he gets it over. And we've got an opportunity with Richie Larea. The old legs, the old dog, get in there. And it's going to roll for a corner. Can we stop with Davies and make the switch, Jesse Marsh? Like, I get, listen to your captain and all that sort of stuff, but put the best guy in for the job. No shots so far. Interestingly enough, they say that Chile is dominating, well, not dominating, but 54-46 in possession. I find that to be intriguing because it's all been in their third. Eustachio stepping up, right-footed outswinger. Thank God that they're at least willing, excuse me, the beer, willing to adjust here. Long, a little bit too far, but it's still there for Davies, and it goes down, and here comes Larea to serve it back up. Are we offside? Cornelius, no flag went up on that one. Fascinating to me. We're just sniffing around in the box, but nothing really coming together. But I love the fact that we're there. It makes at least a draw more likely if Chile's not able to get up here. Here they come as our center backs hurry to get back, and Larea looking to let that go out. What's happening here? The referee had his hand up in the air not to throw it in. He threw it up over his head anyway, the linesman, which was interesting. I'm surprised they didn't give the foul and let that go through. Is Larea clearly the last person to touch it? But the question was that charge to the back a little bit too much? And they said no. Usually those plays where it's a borderline foul, they just throw the ball and they give it to the other team. Chile getting an opportunity. Sanchez with the throw in the first time for really a sniff. Like, have they got the possession stats on the wrong side? Because it just moved to 57% the other way. Wisnowski. I've been impressed by Wisnowski, to be completely fair. He's just steady in the midfield, or from the back line through the midfield, which if you're looking for a team that likes to build through the middle, he's the perfect back that you have that's happy to connect and do some of the running and the heavy lifting. And this is him. Oh, come on, lads. 10 minutes in. And the scoreboard disappeared, didn't it? My bad. I don't know why it's disappeared. And that's going to be the challenge I have with this. I'm only on one screen, and I need the two to really be able to do it properly. Larrea again flicks it over to Osar. Oh, no, well, it's not Osar, it's Davies. And it's going to be a yellow the other way to Suazo. The same step on the back. Larrea is putting on an artistic display, and let's be fair, Richie Larrea is our penalty foul yellow card drawer. He is our artistic impression, 10 out of 10 quality stuff. I'm not suggesting that stuff doesn't hurt. I just... So Suazo... So if Chile advances, Suazo not able to play into the quarterfinals against likely Venezuela, barring some sort of crazy output in the Group B final games. That wasn't a good ball forward, and it's going to be Chile looking to go the other way. So far, 12 minutes in, not a lot of sniff for anybody. One shot for us. Expected goals, 0.04 to 0. 61% possession for Chile. Now, to be fair, most recently, they've been kicking around with their center backs a lot more. The first 8-9 minutes of the match, I was surprised that they had any possession at all. But it seems to be us more direct, them happy to control the ball. And there's Jonathan Osorio with the challenge through the midfield. Great little tackle, and we're going to get a free kick the other way as Larrea putting in the work. The referee telling Larrea, which is the right thing. To be fair, Larrea is artistic. Eustachio. Back to Bombito, over to Cornelius. That's the first I've said his name all day. Well, good. I don't want to be that guy who sits there and rages against the machine, but I even talked about it early last year when we were talking about group stuff for the EFL, for the trophy competition and the goal differential, and having the debate about when should goal differential be the tiebreaker. And I understand it, like I said, the 46 games, but man... To sit there and say to somebody, you've an opportunity with a bad pass, and David tries to go up and nick it. And can't do it. Push in the back, and it's going to go the other way. To have it in a short competition where you can have Portugal-Georgia situation happen, where Portugal puts its B team out there and then ends up losing to Georgia, and you're on the outside saying, we beat Georgia just moments ago, days ago, and we're not in the playoffs now because Georgia gets to qualify by eking out a win against a B squad. It's the same situation with Peru, who's looked like garbage against Chile. That 0-0 game, that first game, was one of the most painful matches of football I've watched in years. There was just no quality in that game at all. Physical, yes, but no quality. And then you have Peru lose to us, and I think that we deserved the win even before. I mean, it was not the greatest game, to be fair, but we did turn it on and then had the red card, and then it went our way. But to have Peru with an opportunity to eke out a win, having lost to us, that just doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem right. Yeah, Argentina's missing Messi for sure. And that's going to happen. And he's still available on the bench and may come in. It depends on what the scope of his injury is and whether they're worried about preserving him. His beverage is going down too smooth. Ooh, Alphonso Davies gets beat over on the opposite side, but that... Was that cleared by us, or was that all the way through by them? That's just an ugly, ugly cross. Both teams looking like the Swedish national team, no finish. And then you see the U jersey, and I actually know that stands for one of the Premier League teams in Chile. I'll pronounce it wrong, but one of the university teams. Bad header by Larrea, turned over. Eustachio putting the effort in to try and end up eking that one out, and here they come on the right-hand side. Chile, can they get a cross in? Can they do a thing? Headed away easily by Larrea, and it's David out for the chase. Wisnowski. See, him with the ball at his feet is dangerous every time. He is, to me, miles ahead of everybody else as far as quality on the Chilean lineup. Wisnowski from their back line is a sexy footballer. He's like goes on those EOC runs. If you're watching on the Red Horde, you know what I mean. If you're watching on Global Watch Along, you don't. EOC plays a similar game from the back line of Wrexham. Just capable of moving the ball forward. It's a nice little flick from Laren, and he's going to send Larrea on the run down the right-hand side. He's got Laren behind him. He's going to go for the cross. He's just going to take the corner. The cagey veteran just taking the safe move, and Eustachio, right-footed outswinger, I'm hoping. I'll just keep calling for it until it happens. See, that's the stuff that we need to see. Argentinian fan with a full back tat of Maradona. That's awesome. .59% possession for the Chileans. One total shot. That one's closer to the goal. Far post, punched away. Schaffelberg with it over on the left-hand side. He's got Davies behind him, but he runs towards the end line. That's a great cross. Header pushed over, and we'll get another corner. Couldn't get enough on the header. Kyle Laren getting up there, trying to crawl it. It was one of those ones where you jump up there, and then you're like, I need to be higher. And you're trying to just desperately hang. Couldn't get enough momentum on it. Yeah, but... oh. Should have gone down, not up. We will take it as Cornelia sniffing around. Eustachio, serve that up, sir. Come on. Fifth corner of the match, way too far. Schaffelberg going to have to go and try and collect it. Oh! Was that a kick to the head? Go to VAR. He had his boot up at his ears. He knew he was there. He had to look. Boom. Yeah, he clocked him with the boot in the top of the head. Did he clock him? Oh. Unfortunate. We'll take it. I thought that it was more violent than that. Is the Chileans trying to help him up? Just let him relax. You kicked him in the head. At least give him a minute. Well, while there's a pause, I've got to run and grab another beverage. Unfortunately, the fridge is right back here, so I'll just talk to you while I'm off screen. Oh. So many Chileans in the... You've got like the two Canadians up in the front row, and then behind them just nothing but a wave of Chilean around it. Is this real or no? Real as in, am I real? Or real as in, I don't know what you're referencing. Oh, I'm here. I haven't disappeared anywhere. Well, welcome to an English stream. I don't know if you don't have TSN and you're not watching. I can give a little bit more play-by-play than I normally do. But happy to be here with the Voyageur. I wanted to start this mostly to do some Canadian stuff, and mostly because of One Soccer, not getting that stuff out there. But I'm here to sort of do my thing. I do Wrexham matches during the season. Vargas able to nick that one away, as that was not a good header, advanced forward. Bombito needed better than that. Johnston, is that a shoulder or a push? He says fair challenge. I thought that was a little bit behind him, but I'll take it. And Chile looking to do a little bit more down the left-hand side. Vargas with it, dancing around a whole bunch of people through the midfield. Chile loves to just sit in the middle of the pitch and look for opportunities like that, and that's a horrible, brutal pass. So, happy to have you here. Whether you're on the Red Horde or whether you're on Global Watch Along, hit the subscribe button. I'll stream through both for a while, and if the Canadian stuff takes off, I'll probably move over to the other channel because I don't want to flood all of the Wrexhamites with the Canadian content, although most of them, to be fair, are here. Take this and accept this as a decent substitute when we don't have football going on. Yeah, that'll be a problem. So if you've got a stream to be able to watch, go ahead, and then you can follow the commentary here. I'll try to relay what I'm able to see. Is just that's a fair battle, and you've got to let that one go forward. Nice little pass into Suazo all the way up from the left back position. Centers it in. Danger! Misses over to the right, and Crepeau didn't even get over there. Whew. That was the best for both squads as far as attacking goes, and you could see that lead up with that pass over to Suaro into just open space. The challenge, 50-50 ball there. Osorio not able to stay on his feet, win the battle. He's on wrong-sided. And it gets over to Suazo, who's got all the time in the world, and just returns the ball back, chested, volleyed over, and Crepeau sat and stared there. I will take it. All the body contact. Well, I'm hoping that Argentina wins that one because then it reduces what's required for Canada, right? Schaffelberg in the mix, running around. Nothing given. Well, we're starting to make, I mean, we're the back-to-back, well, if we win this one, I don't know if we won the final, but we're in the final for the tackle football championships, and we beat the U.S. last time, and the U.S. is not in the gold medal game. They got upset by Austria, I think. So there you go. The U20 tackle football championships, and no American squad in the last 2 times. Didn't have that on your 2024. And also the U.S. winning in cricket over Pakistan. Well, it should be Argentina, but they didn't put out their top squad. But if you're an Argentinian who's used to playing not in the starting 11, this is your opportunity to move forward, right? Davila, that's 2 in a row that he's ended up pumping. One too far to the right, one too far to the left. But Chile's starting to lift their game a little bit as the Chilean fans are smiling. See, I think that we're still the sleeper team on. Most teams don't recognize, hey, we've finished top of World Cup qualifying for Concacaf for a reason. We are not powder puffs, but we didn't play for a long time because of the battle. Osario's got to stop with the diving. That was a flop by Osorio that put him in a bad position. And if I said Osorio shouldn't be on, Kone should be in. And maybe this is just too much for Osorio. And in the middle of the field, Chile likes to go through the middle of the field. Canadian answered. David up to Calder, and he's there. Was that missed or was that bounced off for a corner? Tough to see from the angle, to be fair. Looks like it's just he missed it entirely. Lopsided, not positive. Absolutely true, and we found that out with Panama. I didn't even worry about the U.S. potentially losing to Panama, so the fact that it happened. First ever international tournament of any flavor, really, for Georgia. Top level, anyway. 23 minutes in, 24 minutes in, and nothing here. It's not a randomized bracket form, and what really irks me about it is A and B are in the same side of the table as C and D. So you're going to get Argentina on the same side as whoever qualifies from Group A. So I don't like that. I could see it if you had it in 2 different countries, but here you've got them. It's all in the U.S. and geographically it's all mixed up territory, so it's not like different time zones. But you'll have Venezuela and Mexico likely from Group B. You'll have Argentina and one of Canada, Chile, Peru today that will be through. And if Canada wins against Venezuela, likely, not likely that they beat Venezuela, but Canada likely to be there. If Canada does get past that, you face Argentina. If it's Chile, Peru, they go through, they get Argentina in the semifinals. I just don't like that magic. I like the different build-up, but yes, physical, tough football with lots of artistic after the whistle, after the play garbage, right? They make more contact here than you watch over in the European style. But they definitely roll around more than maybe Jody Jones. And that's saying something. If you've ever watched a Notts County game, that guy, he would fit in this tournament. Let's just say that. I watched that one though, and it felt like that was an outcome that could be anticipated throughout. I thought watching that is a nice little play there, moving it forward, and Osorio chasing it for Larea to go after it. Go after it, old man. That got to be a yellow? He's on the other side of him. He did. Like, that's a goal scoring opportunity. But I guess too early, like, you know that you're deciding the game, but Larea's over there and he pushes him in the back. Larea also knows who he's up against, and Larea is also looking to draw. So a free kick over from the right-hand side. Davies and Eustachio will stand over there to take it. You have my take on it. Love Davies. He should be the guy who like, he's the straw during open play. They did give him a second yellow. He's off. Red. I did not think he had the cojones to do that. Those are big, massive cojones from Wilmer Roldan, the Colombian referee, now going to be getting much love from Chile after that decision. It was a foul in any other, that would have been a first yellow, surely, but sometimes you see those second yellows, especially early in the game. Did it deserve a yellow? Yes. In a first yellow situation, it was his goal-scoring opportunity. He was clearly behind him, and he clearly took him out. That's a yellow in all other circumstances, but usually you give a little deference, in those second ones. Not here. So Chile, gonna get asked the question now. Things get a lot better for Canada, and now, anyways, going back to the free kick here, and then we'll come back and revisit that one. Wow. Noah boys, says Red, let's go. Davies and Eustachio have been switching between set pieces and corners the entire time. I'm a little bit okay. I'm okay with Davies taking it when it's in a goal scoring opportunity. Davies has a better boot. He's got a better nose for the net. Eustachio is our assist guy. So he hasn't left the pitch yet. I'm going to have to get my Nicorette out as I'm enjoying the beverages and now getting a little edgy. The sweat is on in this one. This has to be Davies having a crack. I think do you have a rip at this one? Canada plays much better against 10. Thanks, Kim. The best Captain Obvious statement of all time. We played so much better against Peru when they went down to 10 men, and all the opportunities we got. Look, that red is going to get talked about for a long time, or back-to-back yellow. The first one was certainly deserved. The second one, if he didn't have a yellow, he's going to get one. I have no doubt about that. But if you understand what I'm saying, usually there's some deference that's provided. Whistled in, just into the 29th minute. Eustachio fakes the assist, and Davies is going to take it, bounces it off, and Eustachio going to take his corner. Davies waves him off. Don't wait. Eustachio, tell him not to. Two-point? I thought we only have a 1-point advantage. It's a straight. If we lose, we're done. If Peru wins, they're in. So they only have to win by 1, right? They'll make up the difference. So get the win and we're set. Lose and we're toast. Tie and we got to look over at Peru, and if Peru wins, they're in. They don't have to score by 2. 6 corners. Let's get some magic. They've gone with Davies for the first 2. Eustachio for 3. It's like if they want to go short post flat, Davies. If they want to go long post. Free kick for Chile coming the other way. Now, could you see? I don't lay any. I'm pretty sure I was listening to the 2-hour preview show that TSN put out there just to try to make sure that I was right, and I'm usually pretty good with those calculations. I'm near certain that it is. And here I got the Copa America thing up here. So let's just have a look at it, because it's goal differential that ends up mattering. I'm going to have to close the doors because I love my kids, but I don't want to hear them right now. And more importantly, maybe you don't. I don't know. They are pretty damn cute, though. So yeah, we're all tied at -1 goal differential because we let in those two against Argentina, where Peru only lost by 1 to us, and they had a 0-0 draw in the other one. So the issue is, Peru wins, they go to 4 points, which if we're tied 4-4, because they won, they'll automatically be at even or better. And we will be at even on a draw, we'll be at -1. So they would qualify. And if we lose to Chile, they go up to 4 points, and we'd only be at 3. So they're in. So we'll see what ends up happening. I'm going to go close that door, and I will be right back. New setup if you haven't been here before. I'm at my parents' place for Canada Day long weekend. And so I didn't miss anything. And that's 31st minute. Schaffelberg, and maybe it's true, Schaffelberg in the other two games when he came on was noticeably different. And noticeably faster and better and in the mix. Not so much coming in as a starter. Maybe he is your super sub who comes in and just busts people open as David leaves it for Larea, but just a little bit. Nice idea. And Alistair Johnston and Vargas getting into a battle. 4 men swarming in the corner. And then there's a dive and a kick out, and it's going to be our throw. Whoo-wee. Getting my sweat on. Tell me that Argentina has scored, please. Yes. Isn't that crazy? It's my pet peeve. My number one pet peeve to the tournament is short tournaments should not be goal differential separating things. Because how can we end up being tied on points, but it goes to goal differential, and because we lost to Argentina by 2 because they put their top squad out there and played a B squad against Peru, they get to make it? Garbage. It's garbage. It should never happen. And we won. We beat Peru on the day, but they get to go? Garbage. Garbage. Thanks, Marie. I appreciate you. But yeah, it's my... I understand the discussions after watching more English football for an entire season rather just parenthetically as the season advances, that goal differential is the right thing to do in a long extended season, especially because of the turnover changes, especially because of the managerial changes, the form differences over the course of the year, the injury impacts. You can't have one game end up deciding things when it's a 46 game tournament or competition. That doesn't make sense. But in these short ones, we beat you 3 days ago and you get to advance because... I hope I don't have to swear and curse at the end of this game because of that outcome. Davies, far post. There, Larea, not able to climb the ladder. Richie Larea, I love you, but I wish you were 2 inches taller. He's so disappointed. See, that's the thing. That's the thing. I mean, I don't doubt that the Argentinian players are going to go out busting their hump because they want to show the manager that they can be trusted for further international competitions. They will be going out there. And this is a wonderful thing to see. Is even a draw is sufficient to ensure that, like, equal draws, and we're fine. David trying to go and poach one because that's what he does, and that would have been a freebie. Chile looking to move forward with 10 men and still going through the midfield, which I find fascinating. But you got to, I guess you ride with what you ride with. 33rd minute. Ball into the middle, nobody there. Crepo coming out and grabbing it. They're yelling for a handball. No, if we draw and Peru wins, Peru is in. If we draw, we are on 4 points. If Peru wins, they are on 4 points. They go to goal differential. We would be at -1 with our draw. And they would be at even at worst with their minimum. So Peru gets in. So we need a result. We either need the win here or we need Argentina to come out with with a win or a draw there. Peru cannot win. Far post looking for a body. Larea. I guess, and the other nice advantage of this is if having Osario in, Buchanan not in, Larea on, not having Liam Miller with Schaffelberg, not having Kone in, is we still have lots of subs on the bench, which in the last 2 games that we've been watching, I was like, I don't know if I trust the people coming off the bench as much. So I will see exactly what happens. And that's the thing, RKO. It's like the U.S. Dream Team, and you don't play the first 5 starters. It's the next 5 that come out are pretty damn freaking spanky, anyways. Yes, if Chile wins, Chile qualifies because they would have 4 points, and they would have won against us. I guess it would be goal differential against Argentina and a Peru win. So on a 1-0 game, they'd actually go to red cards, and red cards Peru wins. So if they're equal on goals, so Chile would have to win by more than us. And hi, Dad.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm well.
Everyone say hi to Dad while you're here.
Hi, Dad.
That's a beautiful thing to see as we get till he can. Ooh, he thought he was fouled. He's screaming for the foul as Schaffelberg's grabbing the back of his head because he got kicked in the back of the head. Wow. I'm loving the fact that I'm in a new location because I'm used to sitting in a little tiny part of my bedroom. Oh, don't do that, Kim. Because now, they get that one shot on goal and they end up having to win, I'll be like, it's all Kim's fault. And then I have to be mad at you. And I really like you. I would like to see the Schaffelberg replay over on that side because it looked like Schaffelberg took a shot. And then as he was going down, he ended up colliding into the Chilean player who dove as though he just got shot by a sniper and was so angry he didn't get a foul or a card. Bombito up in the air. On a yellow and having to be careful. Appeal for handball there up against Bombito. Vargas. That's going to be a free kick. Over on the corner and Eustachio standing over. I think that the whole Euro competition and having the referee only dealing with the captain and others is great for the game. I don't think that they'll put that forward in this in the South American one because the complaining to the referee is such a religious part of the exercise. And there it is. Hey, Dad. Love it. Such a huge part of the match that if you take it out, does it have the same quality? I don't know. So Crepeau lining up the 2-man wall. Still, I mean, we're 23 yards out. About. Maybe further, maybe 25 yards out. Nunez has the ability to do that. But I think they're going to serve this into the mob. Oh, he does take the shot. You gotta do better against Crepeau than that. Crepeau isn't somebody you're going to beat from that far unless you put on some sort of wonder bend. Alphonso Davies with the pace and the counterattack. He chips it up over to David. It's open. Schaffelberg, get there. No. Just goes over to the right and it gets kicked out for a corner and probably had more time for the Chileans, and we've got a player down. I didn't see what contact there was, and I love that Lichnowsky walks right through the mob. Are they looking for a penalty? I don't think there was enough contact on the penalty, but let's have a look at this. Davies gets it up. It's there. David, and he gets smothered by the goalkeeper into the penalty area. I think that's just incidental. He's up. He's out of the way. No, that's an unfortunate collision that ends up happening, I think. That's not a penalty for me. He stopped. He was more vertical than anything else. So it's an unfortunate collision, and it looked ugly. This sort of nonsense, like I would be throwing rights here. We have a guy on the ground. Get your ass away from our player. That sort of stuff. Mobbing the referee, fine. But like the physio guys are out there, they're chatting. They're just showing the red or the second yellow that went to the red. And he intentionally, unintentionally ended up falling on him to get that yellow. Like I said, a little bit tough at being the second yellow. Would have been definitely first. The game is on right now. We are watching it live, Mira. This thing is going. If you TSN or TSN CTV2, the USA. Oh, I should have changed that. It's on FS2. Downstairs, the I follow ticker. It's on FS2 because the Argentina Peru game is on FS1. And Live Soccer TV, if you're anywhere else in the world, go there. It always has the broadcast there. We are almost at the half, although we are going to have, what are we betting, 8 minutes of extra time? The over-under. 7th corner. 7 freaking corners. Hey, hey, hey. It's a beautiful sound, this one. Don't have to wait for the half. Oh. For those that are with me normally over on the Red Horde, it's coffees in the morning. I think at Christmas time I actually put some Carol Ann's or Bailey's into it, but I don't usually get to partake in the beverages. Oh, it was a goal kick. Odd. But in any event, the referee expert that was on for the Canadian one broadcast, if you weren't watching, basically said when you are able to get the shot away and then there's contact, it'd be tough to give a penalty in that situation because they got the shot away. Vargas had space. Davila ended up taking it from him. Vargas is mad and it goes to David and he gets, nice little tackle and they go the other way. I thought clearly he was going to end up having to foul him, but Osario on him. Osario still looking. Byline, move your feet, Larea. Not given, cleared away, hammered down, and Kyle Laren not able to get there. David, like a madman, giving away. Schaffelberg, I thought that pass was going to go over and get intercepted, but you got to call a yellow on that one. Maybe playing advantage, potentially. It's over there, Schaffelberg. Oh, looking for his first. Eustachio! Big block. Oh! Schaffelberg couldn't get the header on it to be able to get it. Had lots of men storming around, and come on, stand him up and give a yellow. No. That's for simulation, sir. This same guy rolling every single time. Jonathan Davies ended up picking up a yellow on that one. You got to go the other way. A little bit of consistency on calling those back tackles. Am I wrong? Did he get a boot into the back of him? But I thought it was leg, and yes, it was unfortunate, but anyway, in any event. I'd like to get a card to number 9 for this constant simulation. But I guess you got to give one to Richie Larea as well. Osario. Eustachio over to Schaffelberg. So then anyway, Schaffelberg has the header. He misses it. Comes out to Eustachio, who's sitting 18 yards away, maybe 17 yards, just inside the box, hammers it, and it ends up getting blocked as the keeper comes all the way out to grab that. And remember, Bravo, the regular Chilean goalkeeper, who would have had his 150th cap, he's not in this one. They've gone with the backup. I'm going to hit the old Clamato juice with the beverage for those from the center part of Canada. The prairies, anyway. You'll know that that's required. This one's got some feels. I'm with you, Kim. 4 yellows seems like more. Eustachio going to be right-footed, looking to the wall, and this guy's Eustachio can pass far post, too far. I cursed him. I said he can pass, and then he just ends up coughing up a complete ugly mess. The Porto man, this would be what, his 39th cap? So there's the Schaffelberg couldn't get his head on it, bounced out, Eustachio with it, and he shot it right into the center of his chest. Could have gone either direction and missed it. Hey, missed the field goal. So in the CFL, that's 1 point. That's called a rouge. Let me explain that to the... When the whistle blows, David just ends up dancing around a guy and says, "Why are you blowing me down?" Wilmar Roldan. Not going to let the after the whistle stuff turn into a yellow. You can't. Even the throwing of the ball, you can't. Because the consistency has to be there. Both teams are being childish. And I'll admit that Canada's one of them. Osario with an awkward chest down, but it comes forward. And we've got Jonathan David looking over right-hand side for Larea. Get it across, sir. Too flat. Too many bodies in the middle. And it's going to go out for a throw. I haven't seen Koné de Marseille confirmed anywhere. I would be shocked if he plays in Watford, and I don't like him in Watford. 4 managerial changes in the last 2 years, all over the place. I think as far as his Jekyll Hyde performance, he needs to have some consistency. Johnston getting it across. Nice cross. It's there. Knocked back to the keeper. All right. All right. I'll take that. Well, now we've got different themes. Brendan says Chile holding up pretty well. And Kim saying starting to show some fatigue in the back. I think both are true. The fact that they've survived 15 minutes and they're going to get to the half 0-0 and they've been able to scramble in the back, that's all right. Do I think that we're advancing forward and getting some extra opportunities we haven't had? I haven't even updated the shots because I'm nervous to update anything. 6 shots to 2. We've had one big chance, is what they say. I'm going to go there and see if I can do this without blowing everything up. 6 shots to 2. I knew it. Oh. Getting a complete overhaul for the Red Horde that's coming, and I get to start playing with in a couple of weeks in preparation for the year. As we've only had 4 minutes of added time. That's nuts. With the number of players that have been rolling on the field and the pitch, I guess nobody's really gone off. They've all got to their feet. But you've got 4 yellows, all the interplay that's been happening. Jonathan Osorio flip up to Larea, too far, cleared back. Osorio goes up again. Larea bangs it off, and we're going to get a throw in. 2.5 minutes left. Alistair Johnston, the Celtic man. If you would have told me at the start of the Copa America, screaming for playing an advantage, he said play on, so I imagine we could come back. If we get an opportunity, he'll leave it. I don't think there's a card in there. Oh! Shot from Scheffelberg, looking for a sneaky little one. I'm going to have to look that up at the half. I'm going to have to look that up. Damn it. And thanks for doing it, RKO, and giving us the update, because I was hoping to do it myself, but just didn't want to have to reload because my audio would get all mixed up as I'm watching on the big screen TV, but with computer audio so that I can actually hear what's happening without having it come through the feedback. Yeah, but when you're... I know that Messi probably wants to be out there every opportunity, but when you've got a knockout round coming and you're getting up there in age and you're a little bit older and you've got the opportunity to let somebody else have a crack and rest you up, that's what you do. 7 corners, no magic. Possession still 52-48. It was as high as 59% for Chile. I will say, for the first time ever, Kim, in the second Portugal match, and I can't remember who, or it might have even been the first one, that pass from Ronaldo, and I think he could have had the crack and the shot at it, I went, well, that's not very Ronaldo, as he served it up. So Argentina, they're at the half. Davies moving forward. Another minute until the end of the half. Cross over, too far for Larea. Dig in, Larea. And it goes straight out, no touch, and it'll be a Chile throw over from the other side, and Larea saying, flat, make it flat, sir. Well, it'll be interesting to see what Jesse Marsh, the Canadian manager, does. 60, 65 minutes. You come in with Buchanan and Kone getting their opportunity. Oh, and I can't use my phone to figure it out. I guess I can use my computer. Do it the old-fashioned way. Long throw. Whistle going to blow in seconds here. Are we going to get one more chance? Schaffelberg advances it forward. Collision. And they're going to blow it down because I think he might have collided heads. He's going to... You giving a free kick the other way? All right. I thought he got to the ball first. He got to the ball first. Simpson regrets that assist. Shouldn't have done it. I was trying to get him a hat trick. It's going to hurt my goal stuff and my goal scoring statistics. It's not who I am. As we're at the half in this one, 0-0. And to be fair, if it finishes like this, I will be happy. I will be happy. And Chile's got work to do, being down by a man. The other thing that fascinates me, and I might be confused here, is when they show fans in international games, in the South American ones, the fans are always into it, cheering, celebrating. Like the Chilean fans here are glorious. That's not true in what I see in Europe. When you're down by a man, when you're down by a goal, they usually pan and the players are... In North America, you watch hockey or tackle football or baseball, and the fans look dejected and peeved and frustrated, and you can sense the emotion that they have. They're showing the Chileans, and they're all, yeah, look at my badge. They're excited. I don't get that. Somebody, if you can understand and explain that one to me, I would love to hear that. As I say, Cone Marseille. And let's see what pops up on X. Agreement in principle, they say. June 28th. That's fascinating to me. You play one game. You put Kavinga in your pocket for one game. And the French League One squads end up coming and being like, we've never seen you before, but you played against our national team and you were the best player on the pitch. You get a contract. It makes sense to me. He was that exceptional. But let's be honest, he's looked like garbage in the Copa America. Not garbage. He hasn't been himself. He definitely hasn't been himself. In the last game against Peru, the first 4 touches of the ball were all bad giveaways. Yikes. Frustrating. But he's a young kid, and he's got lots of magic in those boots, and if I recall correctly, he came to the game late, which is even better. Yeah, fair enough. And that reminds me, during World Cup qualifying, not for the last World Cup, the one prior, there was a Mexico-Canada qualifier in Canada. Canada needed a win, needed a result. They didn't show up at all. But I went with my wonderful wife, who is English and loves her football. Brother-in-law played for Chesterfield. My brother-in-law, her brother. And she was like, oh, whatever, Canada playing football. I'm not really that excited about it, but I'll go to this game. There is something in her blood, and I don't know if this is, I assume it to be true with all English, Welsh, Scottish folk, and the same in South America. When it's in your blood, it's in your blood. And she got to that match, and Mexico scored their second goal early in the first half, and she was on her feet and screaming louder than anybody else in the stadium about that she'd be trying harder with her heels on than the Canadian national team. And it was brilliant, and it was cold, which was deserved. And there's something about just being happy to see your national team and being around. She said it was in her blood and it was boiling. Just listen. Once she heard the music playing and saw the flags moving and all that sort of stuff, that just became a thing, and it was all happy and giddy. And I can see it in a friendly. Like, Wrexham gets lit up by the Vancouver Whitecaps on July 27th. I don't really care. Just let's make it fun and let's make it entertaining. Let's sing along and have a good time. If you are going to that game on the 27th, reminder, the pint, the morning of, starting at noon, and the Welsh Society on the night before. And then the fireworks, and we'll figure it all out. I'm going to update the stats while we're at it. Feel free to hit me with whatever questions you may have. I haven't looked at the numbers as to how many people are here, but 6 shots to 2 is how it's going to end. Shots 52%, 48%. Only the one big chance change. And I'm just looking at the stats. They said Isla at 7.1. I've been impressed by, I was impressed by Suazo until he got his red, filling that gap. And Davila's been around it for them. I've been disappointed in Vargas, although he did have that one opportunity cutting across the center of the box, and I think he actually had an opportunity. The defender was a little bit flat-footed, and if he would have got around him, he had his right foot available from 19 yards out to be able to have a crack, but Davila stripped it from him. Yes. If the standings are on, if you're watching on TSN, Canada Ball Edits it ends with the same points as that are up there right now. Argentina moves forward with 9 points, with 7 points on the draw. We would end up with 4. They would have 2 each. We're in. So draws work for us as long as Peru doesn't win. And so, we've got the MLS referee, World Cup referee, the Canadian. I want to hear his feedback on this one. Reckless challenge, yellow, goes through the back, stone cold yellow. He says, if you're not watching the Canadian broadcast, I love this that they have like our top official in all of Canada. Rea gets ahead. He had a crossing attack. So he says that the yellow was a little bit harder to end up calling, but it was deserved because there was an opportunity with Larea there with a cross opportunity available for him, and so because it was taken away and he was too fast and had it, and interesting. The Irish broadcaster said that it shouldn't have been because he thinks that Larea had too much pace and couldn't have made the cross. So we'll see. Peru is slowly becoming one of my most hated countries right now. See, this is what CONMEBOL does to us, is you get into a real tournament like the Copa America. This is going to be new rivalries all over the place and magic that we've never had before. We don't get to play Montserrat or choose whatever fill in the blank country that's in the Caribbean over and over and over again to try and qualify for stuff. We get some real True. This one, I see the debate, and it's interesting. You have the referee saying, yeah, it should have been yellow. It's the right call. Probably got help from the assistant. Larea, clearly, I think he slowed down on the prior to the physical contact and drew it as well. A red on Echeverria for Bombito. And this is the elbow to the face of Echeverria. I think that arguably should have been a red, but we would have screamed. Forearm to the face, gets him on the gin. I don't know what Bombito is thinking there. Kyle Laren's reaction, I want that as a meme. Oh, that's nothing. But the header that happened against Alistair Johnston in the last match would have been a red, and I was screaming for red. This, I would have been screaming for a red had I not seen that before. So to me, you give it equal treatment. And there's a little shout out from RKO for the Ronaldo Messi take, that it's Messi all day. I don't get bothered in the GOAT stuff. They both are exceptional footballers. And there's so many footballers in history and currently that... It's interesting hearing this official because we don't get this in a lot of other sports. What he's talking about right now, if you're not watching, and just for reference, this is the lead official for training MLS. He's Canada's World Cup referee formerly, now not doing that anymore. And he's actually talking interestingly about Bombito already having a yellow and how in normal circumstances where there hadn't been a red card given, he would defer and try to lean against the second yellow unless it was an obvious yellow card and deserved to get that second red. In this instance where the other team already has a red card, he's saying Bombito has to be exceptionally careful. Because if he eats that yellow, or if there's a circumstance to even it up and make it 10v10, he's actually saying publicly that he would be okay with doing it. That would be... Is that who it is? Is Kilbane? Is the... I don't even know. I didn't even catch the name. I just know who he is. If you were watching the TSN broadcast. Maradona. Now we're getting into the GOAT discussion. Here, I'll throw one out at you. Owen Hargreaves. I mean, if you're going to talk about Canadian GOATs, he's both arguably... Tim and Davies? Yeah, sorry, I should have stopped the time. I'm sleeping at the wheel here. Stop. We are at the half. We're getting the halftime feedback. And I shall go back to 45 minutes as I normally do in these circumstances and was sleeping at the wheel and not doing it. We should be getting started relatively soon. We've been at it for a while. And my YouTube's way behind, but that's fine. I'm just chatting along. 39 people watching now at the Red Horde. That's high for what I've been having for the Canadian stuff. Not anywhere close to what we get for the Red Horde on a normal watch party when Wrexham's is available. If you are a Canadian who hasn't if you haven't been following Welcome to Wrexham and don't want to get on the Wrexham train, that's fair, but you should. Most of the people here, we all have. It's been a blast. More support for Wrexham than any other EFL team out there. 3-4 times more. 2.5 million quid going into the coffers from North American fans. It's been impressive. But anyway, I was talking about Owen Hargreaves. If we're talking about the greatest players of all time that have come from Canada, where do we put Owen or Hargreaves into the equation? He opted not to play for Canada. He did what people expected Davies would do, is bounce off and go and play for his home country and not for Canada. But Owen Hargreaves, born and raised in Calgary, played Bayern Munich for most of his career and a little bit at the end with Man U and Man City, and he had 42 games playing for the Three Lions. That's no joke. That is no joke. Not a lot of goals, though. 2 goals in the Premier League, 7 in the Bundesliga, but I guess you don't expect to be much more than that as a midfielder, unless you're Andy Cannon. That's the fascinating one, is Tomori. Let's be completely frank. His opportunity to play in England, I think the sun has set on that. And with the new change of the rules, I think he's getting close being able to swap over. Yeah, sorry about the bot. Still everywhere. And so is Tomori going to jump over? I don't know. Tomorrow, England, Slovakia. What an outcome with Italy going out. And let's talk about, if you watch that Italy-Switzerland game, did Switzerland ever control the tar out of that one? Like, that was a walk in the park. I'm trying to follow with the cutouts RKO. Oh, did I have a family member dart through the live stream behind me? The food's over in the deep freeze behind me, so I got to get over there to get it. I should probably stand up and grab another beer and just set it next to me so that I've got it. Oh, I just want a result. Let's get into the knockout round so we can have some fun with this thing. I missed it. I'm so focused on you guys. And for those that are normally here, the other thing that I'm curious about is how would you suggest, even though I don't have the lighting set up, is the camera better? Because I've actually used my cell phone through an app rather than my relatively expensive camera at home that I normally use, and I forgot it at home, so I had to get creative. And I actually think I prefer this, so I might have to swap out what I use when I get back home. You gonna let me know what's up for us in the Red Horde? I mean, I'm hoping that I can watch a Venezuela match and do a watch along for that one. We'll see how that one goes. It is very good. Perfect. Then I'm probably going to end up going with it and figuring out how to set this one up at home. We've got... I'm mostly trying to get everything all set up for the watch parties, although I do have a couple of videos canned. I want to get the Mansfield Town pitch situation off because they hate me in Mansfield, and I think it's beautiful, and I want to be able to go back and tell them why they're wrong. All right, still worth taking. I think once the lighting improves, that it would be even better, but we'll see how that goes. And I've got the coefficient assessment of the women's UEFA Championship and why it's important that we end up supporting Cardiff City in their battle through Europe to try and assist us being the Wrexham women's team in making the UEFA. I can bring the Chilean graphics up. Well, it's been a lot of Canada ticking through for the last little bit, so let's... How many minutes until Bombito comes out? Because you're not going to want a player with a yellow card sitting out there in a dangerous situation, right? I think you're having a special halftime talk with him to end up saying you cannot get anywhere close to an issue unless it's like a real goal-scoring opportunity. Stay out of it and just do your job and be smart. But the issue that I have with that is the only substitute that we have in the back line that can go in is Kamal. And Kamal not the guy. Not the guy for me. And I'm curious for those of you who are long-standing Voyageur or Les Rouges fans, what your takes are on the difference between Cornelius and Bombito compared to Kamal Miller. Is I think it's night and day, and I've thought he's always been less than what we expected from an international center back. Maybe I'm wrong. Parky would leave Bombito out there. Sure would, until the 72nd minute, 75th minute, and then you'd get that swap. And it was only if he was tired and dragging himself around the pitch. I will say for Parky, this waiting until the end of the September window to do something, it's a bad idea. When you've got the 6, if you didn't watch my little video that I did watching the fixture release for Wrexham, the 6 matches that Wrexham has at the start of the season are just nasty. And then you've got a Sheffield United Cup match. Get those signings in right away. Like, I don't want to be waiting through the month of August until we watch that September window close. As we are underway, 45 minutes away from an opportunity to play in a quarterfinal match in the first appearance in the Copa America. Whew, get into it. Up by a man, and also watching Argentina Peru as we're looking for Argentina to do us a damn favor, guys. Cornelius, flip up over top, doesn't get it through. Chile out, and I imagine that they will try to throw the kitchen sink at us early on, especially because they're going to have some legs resting at the half as they try to get it to us. Very experienced Sanchez. Oh, no, that was Alexis. Sorry, why did I think that was... Oh, it's Alexis Sanchez. Interesting that they went... I'm going to have to go... Before I end up saying something stupid, let me go to my notes and bring up Chile here as it goes in for another throw. Alexis Sanchez, and interesting that it's a first name on the back of the jersey, but I guess that's a South American thing, and you see that a lot of that with Brazil, with the sole names. And is that going to be a corner right off the hop as Davies not able to keep that in? Lazy start for the Canadians coming out, and you had to anticipate that this was going to be the outcome. You had to expect. Yes, Drew, thank you for that one. RKO, is that why you're getting deleted? Marie, I should have given it to Marie for the bonus points. And maybe RKO for even trying to get in there with the bot saving him. I want to view the deleted men. Too many caps. Oh, up in the air and just headed over. That was dangerous. Going to go for the other side. Far post, had the opportunity. Echeverria pounds the ground in disgust. He swears at himself. Ooh, the anger. They're into it. I mean, it's the Copa America. For them, this is be like a World Junior Hockey Championship involving a Canadian team playing against, I don't know, the UK and able to upset us. Oh, danger. And Crepeau able to grab it straight at him. Easy save. And that was off Lichnowsky, who I've said before, my top Chilean player through all 3 matches. If you were putting together a player of the team tournament, and you were saying you get to pick one player from Chile who's going to make team of the tournament for Chile. Who is it? I think it has to be Wisnowski. Crepeau all the way out to just flick it up into the air, and it's going to be headed back, and away they come. Get there, Schaffelberg. Nice little play by David to deflect it. Oh, that wasn't David because he's all the way up there. That would have been on Davies to flick it up. Ooh, Davies plays it, takes a boot to the head, and he's going to say, well, you put your head low. The Chileans want a penalty for... Why are the Chileans... Are they complaining or trying to preserve? He gets low. He's got all the time in the world. He heads it, and he collides. That's not a foul. That's a free kick to us. Davies does take a boot off the side of the head, though, but... Instantaneous. He knew he was putting himself into a dangerous position. All caps will get the bot to grab you, by the way. Canada Ball and VOD. I see that you guys have put that out there. I've clicked to be able to view the edits, but I don't think they show up on the screen because they've been cleaned out. No, let me know everything, but don't don't let me know about what happens in the Canada-Chile game if you're well beyond 48 minutes, and yeah, you're going to have to wait for me, and no spoilers. Chile said he headbutted the Chilean foot, but he did. I mean, he put himself into a dangerous position, and that's one of those things where I think you have to let that slide as Larea gets it all the way up, 3-man forward. Schaffelberg up there, and he's grabbed on the shoulder. That's not a penalty. If that was closer, and the Chilean giving it to him in the ears, and there they come forward giving it to him. Just stay out of it, Schaffelberg. If Schaffelberg was closer to the ball and had an actual play on that ball when he got pulled by the jersey, but he gets grabbed right here, hand over top, and like that's enough force. If the chance was there, that's a penalty. But there's no chance there. But I do think this is bullshit. And if that was hockey, we're throwing bones. That's a left on the shoulder and a right thrown over top. But we got to get used to swallowing and being more passive with the after the whistle nonsense. Pushed forward. Laren, lots of space, lots of time as both center backs kind of carried on and let him have control of that. He couldn't decide what he wanted to do with it, so it gets flicked off of his boot. What'll be interesting for me too is when Liam Miller, who I expect is going to come in for Schaffelberg at some point here, when he comes in, does he end up having a game sort of where he's as effective as Schaffelberg in as a sub? Because if he is, then I don't know what you do going forward. If he's not, then Schaffelberg to me hasn't been as effective as he normally is when he comes in as a substitute. And so maybe you go with Liam Miller, who's going to be steady, consistent, not give you much, but give you 60, 65, 70 minutes of solid play, if not exceptional. And then you get Schaffelberg, who will come in and pick it up to another level. I'd like to see that as a nice little pass into the box. And Schaffelberg gets taken down right in the front of the box. Nothing. And the referee's saying play on as Schaffelberg's trying to pick himself up. You've got to call like VAR. I want to see the replay. Schaffelberg there. Shoulder charge to the back. In the back of the box on that one. That one dragging the ball. Could you call that a handball? Maybe. To me, the shoulder barge in the back where the guy played and leaned back and threw his shoulder backwards, and I didn't get the number of it to find out if that was the same player who grabbed him before. That's got to be looked at. It wasn't in the penalty area. It was about a yard and a half outside. And he says, throw it in and we're going to play on. All right. Feel free to throw out the Argentina scores whenever you get them. First, second, third, that doesn't matter. Let me know as they're up 1-0, which is glorious for us because it means that we only need to have a draw. Still got to do more here. I'd love to get a goal. Kyle Laren, our leading goal scorer, gets it over to Larea. Wrong guy to get the boot off of it, though, and he bangs it off the shins. I love you, Richie. You are an amazing soldier for Canadian football, Canadian soccer. You've been there for years, and you fit in every role. You're a Band-Aid, and you just do the damn job, but you are not an offensive superstar. And so of all the players up there, it's like, yes, Kyle Laren, shoot. David with a chance, sure. Davies, yes. Schaffelberg, but not Richie. Not Richie. He ends up being the guy that's left to take the shot, bangs it out, throw in. Osario. He's got Bombito all the way back. Well, I wanted to hear how he pronounced his name again because I thought it was Moises, but I think it's I've been mispronouncing it. Long ball to Schaffelberg. He's putting his work in. Shoulder charge. And let it play. Play on, and Chile has it. Give a free kick to Chile. Why is that different than any shoulder charge? Interesting. Corner for Argentina as we've got a goal kick. Oh, man. 40 minutes from glory. See, I thought that was a clean shoulder charge. Not just a good body check, but Anyway, headed down. Larea able to collect it. Back to Alistair Johnston. And then Osario not able to get there. Ooh. It would be a free kick for us going the other way. And he says, let play on, as the referees. If we're going to argue like that in South American football, you have to have somebody on the ball. You can't just let them play like that, as we had two guys arguing with the referee, so they go over. Allowing play to continue. It's a mess over in the corner. It's going to go for a goal kick. Oh, sorry, I was saying. Oh, he gave a corner. Wilmar Roldan, what are you doing here, sir? What was that call? That was clearly a goal kick, and Chile just worked Roldan into giving one away here. Flat ball, headed away. Oh, but dangerous. Davila! And he whiffs on it and bangs it out. Oh, it doesn't go out. So Chile's going to stay in the game, Canada. Stay in the game. And stop. I would like to see us stop the nonsense. When you're looking for a draw and you're really up, you don't need to be playing with this after the whistle stuff. So just get up and get all your men behind the ball and play smart. As that gets knocked out and we're going to get a throw. Jesse Marsh says, slow it down. I love this. I love this. If you're not watching this live, it went out. We're racing right now, and Canada is rattled. We're not looking. We're not playing smart. We're getting involved and making mistakes. And so the ball goes out for a throw, and Davies goes over to try and grab it and go quick. And Jesse Marsh grabs the ball and says to Davies, just slow that down. And you could see him motioning to just slow it all down. Still 1-0 as we had a goal disallowed. And now we're doing the smart thing, and we're just kicking it about and letting the clock tick. Jesse Marsh deserves to have a beer. As that was just a wise, savvy move as he gets it to Schaffel, not Marsh, and now slow it down. Davies grabs it, lets the clock roll, bounce it around, and reminds everybody a 0-0 result right now and a 1-0 game works for us. Davies, Eustachio, moves it on over, and you've got them down to 10 men, so take your time and control the ball and eat some possession. Eustachio, the Porto man. Lorea, I would like to see a Buchanan sub any time here, and they're going to give offside here on Jonathan David, and Chile grabs the ball, and they're going to go quick. They're racing, so let them race. Let them race. Come on here. Interesting that Chile's taken such a long time to get this one back into play, but they've moved everybody forward before they go with the long thump down the pitch. Bombito there, being careful. Alistar heads it away. It's going to go out for a throw. No, it stays in. It still stays in. It's there, left side, and ooh, that's a card. That's a card. Not for the first one, but he gets it for the second. See, this is the nonsense of... I'm going to say your cup has peach juice. So Johnson picks the yellow one up for interfering there, but this is what I've been saying about just don't give the referee an opportunity. The word for the foul of blocking the goalie is blocked by your bot? I'm going to have to check that. Bombito to David. That looked like it could have been a handball flicking that over to his counterpart, but anyway, it's knocked clear, and it looks like we're going to do 11 behind the ball for the rest of this match, and let Chile, who's racing, they have to win, so they're pushing, they're racing, and we're just kind of standing around chasing after them. 10 men, and they're cleaning us right now. Flicked away, Lorea with it. We need, I would like to see Marsh make those subs and bring in Buchanan and Liam Miller as it's played forward for a throw, and is that the whistle for some subs? More action on which? I don't have another blocked one from you from RKO, so I'm not even able to pull out exactly what you were saying. You might have to spell it out. Beat the bot. Cornelius, steady in the back, the Malmo man. Just play with Eustachio for a little bit. Back and forth. Just drive the Chileans nuts. Keep looking. Draw it all the way back to Crepeau. Chases on. Get it back up to Cornelius. I'm okay with this. Well done on him for settling it down. And here's Davies. Time to move forward. Gets it back after a play to Kyle Larin, and he's going to go down the left-hand side. Dancing, 3 guys with him, up against Isla, tries to take him on, dances around him. Isla spinning to gets it off of him, though. And well done, and that's going to go for a goal kick on the other time. Well done by Isla. Called off for obstruction. And that one ends up being blocked, eh? Yeah, 53%. But to be fair, we're racing. Let's be honest. Canada has not been in a position where we're trying to hold off a team with an opportunity to advance in anything. This is all new territory for us. And so you have to expect that there's going to be a little mass chaos. I mean, individually as players, sure. But where you put that jersey on, and we're racing right now. Bombito clears it away with the header, but it's nobody in the midfield to go and grab it. It ends up being free, but Schaffelberg with it. Settle it down. Carry with there. Walk with it. There. I like that. Settle it down. Gets it over to Kyle Larin. Kyle Larin turns one. Can he turn? No. Oh, it gets deflected away from him, and he was right there. Just one extra step. I haven't even looked at the shots recently. Maybe I should pull that one up. 7 shots to 6. So down this half, the shots are 4-1 for Chile. 4-1. Not what I expected. I would have liked to us have gone for it a little bit more. But at the same time, I don't care as long as we're able to get out of here with enough. You're giving a free kick for that. Eustachio just rolls his eyes. I think the turf monster got him. Show me the replay. Not in international competitions. Canada, against other Concacaf teams, does remarkably well. We'll beat the U.S. on equal footing. We've been able to take on Mexico in the last 4 or 5 years on near equal punch weight. But as soon as we end up playing a European or South American team or an Asian team, hell, Japan's loved playing us, we fall apart. And it's been frustrating because it's like, well, who the hell are we? And so we've never advanced past the group stage in any major international tournament, which I count as World Cup and Copa America. I'm with you, Kim. I'm with you. But at the same time, it doesn't matter if they get the result. If they're able to just clear the decks, and I don't think there's been a threatening shot. No big chances for Chile. And so if you're keeping them over on the outside and you're not taking any dangerous fouls, yikes, and you're being clean, then let them kick it around the box and race. And Crepeau is still has, I think, knock on wood, a couple of good saves in it. That's a dangerous cross, but it's cleared away. Cornelius is just doing his thing, and let them do this. I'm okay with this as long as we're in control. Maybe the bad news is it's because I've been putting up the Chilean name, so let's change it to Canada. I mean, we've only been to 2 World Cups. In the first one we were at, we didn't score a goal. So we'll see. That's true. But that's not going to happen, right? Leave me to drink. Chilean keeper goes down. That's odd because he doesn't want the clock to tick. But he's stretching himself out. Arias there instead of Bravo, the normal who would have had his 150th cap. While there's a little bit of a break here, Arias gets to straighten out a cramp or a glute issue. I'm going to grab another bevy. $30 minutes away. 30 minutes away, please, for the love of God. And the other thing, Kim, to think about is I was talking about we played very well against the Netherlands, and we lost 4-0. But we looked great other than 7 minutes in the second half. We looked fantastic against France. I think we were the better team on the pitch in the friendly. 0-0 draw. And then we looked great against Argentina, lost. Looked like garbage against Peru, but won. And now if we look garbage against Chile, but we're still able to eke out a win. And this is, I think, South American and CONCACAF, Central American football, very scrappy, very feisty. it's ugly football, which surprises me. I thought South American football would be more flair, the old Brazil, the Argentinian, but it's not. It's a war. It's a war. That loss to Panama, because Panama to me not a strong team. And here you see Liam Miller coming in for Schaffelberg. That makes sense to me. I would have thought 64th, 65th minute. When do you bring in Kamal Miller? And I think this is maybe an indictment of Kamal. Is you don't want to have Bombito out there with a yellow. And if Kamal was not such a big drop off, I think he comes in on this window. They come in at the same time. But Miller, he's going to have something to prove. Something to prove, having been replaced in the starting lineup. Yeah, but it's hard not to. I mean, it's different. The joy of the Concacaf qualifying is you end up going to places like Panama and Honduras and Nicaragua, and they know where you're staying in the hotel, and they're banging on drums and setting off fireworks all night long. It's a fascinating process. Oh, a nice, great touch by Liam D'Alfonso. Oh, he's right there. Back for David, but the pass too far backwards from Larea, and not there. And here comes the counter. This has got to be killing, though. Miller gets on the pitch, and he picks up a yellow right away. That wasn't a threat, though. Like, Miller says, okay, I shouldn't have taken a yellow. That wasn't a threat. We had men back. It was a lazy swipe at the ball, and he ended up catching Davila, who is amazing at being able to... Oh, the artistic flair on throwing that heel kick after that bang on the shins. That was a real chance, and unfortunate bad pass from Larea back into David, and he goes too far back from him. Ooh, David Poacher, and even the Kyle Laren opportunity on the first pass in from Davies. There were really two good opportunities there. Pot one, and I think the story is told. Eustachio, well done, and then he gets fouled. Oh, and the foul is on us. I didn't think that this was a foul. Did he get him? Shoulder charge. Oh, the heel and the grab. Okay, that's weak compared to what he's been given for the entire match. But don't do it, Kim. Oh, opportunity here. Sanchez. He hasn't looked good. Well, that's not Sanchez. That's one of the subs. Or who the hell is that? I'm missing who that is. Or maybe it was. Larea dancing, hip checked. One of those times Larea is going to grab that ball, because what Larea does whenever he's fouled is he puts his hand on the ball and forces the referee to make a decision, right? And one of those times he's going to end up getting a handball call against him because he's flopped and grabbed the ball. Yeah, Canada Ball edits. I see that was deleted. All caps, the bot will catch you. Is Liam Miller in empty space? Can he get there before it goes out? I think it went out of play. I think it went just out over the line. But I do think... When I first saw it, I thought it was a good shoulder barge, but then on the back side, he caught him on the heel on the right. I can see that just being a foul, but I do think that they should have. I mean, what do you do with the foul that follows afterwards? It was not sufficient for a yellow on that end, but it was just penalty to Argentina. Wait, so Peru is getting their shot a penalty kick right now? Penalty to Argentina. So Argentina's taking the penalty? I'm so confused right now. RKO, help me. Oh, the fingers are coming out. Osario, the Colombia man, he's loving this because all his family connections are in Colombia. Okay, good, 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 good. Don't panic me like that, man. Don't panic me like that. Sounds like there's heat in both matches, and that makes the Copa America fun. Osario gets it back. Bombito and Cornelius, just the two men steady in the back. I would love for them to just play catch with the ball for like 20 more minutes, 25 more minutes. Davies, draw it back. There you go. We're in no rush. Eustachio, put the switch on. Osario, Cornelius, slow it down, lads. Slow it down. I'll sit here and drink my bevies. Make them come at you, and then a bad pass from Cornelius. And it's flicked out. Cornelius and Davies having a word with each other. So you guys will have to let me know how that one goes, as we're going to get Isla with a throw in. As Chile starting to get, as you'd expect, perhaps a little bit tired here. I'm still racing and still wanting to get going. Down to 10 men. This is where you wish that the heat was all over the place. Oh, handball. Alexis Sanchez gets it, but Davies with a nice little tackle. David gets it over. Alistair Johnston running with it. A potential counter here. Larea on the right-hand side. He finds them. Pushed over to him. Larea, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. And it's going to go for a corner. Corner and then thump down the pitch, which Chile would, I'll take. I would love the opportunity if I'm Chile, I'm grabbing that ball and running it over to the corner flag and setting the ball down for them. Josh says that was a light penalty for Argentina, but they all count. Give us that as the outcome, and then a drew. Oh. Argentina missed the kick. That's why you need Messi. Davies swung in far on post. Punched away. The keeper in for Bravio. Not a complaint from him for the way he's played. Is Liam Miller looking for that far post, and he goes wide. Interesting that Liam went for a crack on that one. I didn't check how many domestic goals he has, but he. But I don't think he's lit it up for Preston North End or in his career in the midfield position. One goal last year one goal for Canada, 5 last year in Preston North End. I think that when you've got David and Kyle Larin sitting in the middle of the box, you have to go for them and go at them with the pass, especially when that's what your talent is and what your skill is your passing is. David right up there as he's flopping for a call, and I think he just kicked it out. Interesting is that was a bad throw-in as we decided to go forward all the way to Kyle Larin instead of bringing it back. I would have liked to have slowed it down, but instead we're bringing it forward. Sanchez against Eustachio. Osario, that was a good pass. Larea, long flick, switch all over to the right-hand side. Brings it down. Free kick from 32 yards out. They're asking for the card on this one. I think that was a card. That was a foul. So we're going to be 33, 35 yards off. Going to be from the right-hand side. Controversial opinion. The subs under the score you like. I get it. We're looking at doing that with the whole overhaul and what we can do with the subs and what we can't do with everything. Because I'll be far more automated this season than I was in the past. But I don't know how to end up getting that through. The subscriber thing didn't work this time, as we're testing bugs and cleaning them up. And although this whole overlook is going to get a whole new change. Left footer looking for a header, cleared away. Well done. Just bang down the pitch. Whew. Where are we at? 74th minute. 16 plus extra time. The fans are getting into it with the Chile chant. And Chile's searching for it. Alexis Sanchez is trying to just strap the whole. Maxime Crepeau had to back up and go and get that. Is Alexis Sanchez, the old dog. Oh, I see the pop-up on the TV screen when it comes down. You're watching FS1. I did see one of the broadcasts, so I know exactly what you're talking about. I have the TSN broadcast, so I don't get all the fancy things that FS1 has. Osario drawn through. I'm still surprised Bombito on the pitch. I'm still surprised Osario and Larea on the pitch. Tejan Buchanan is not a step down defensively. I mean, the guy plays for Inter in Syria. He... Oh, and as I just say that, there at the bottom, is that Oluwase? His third cap, not who I expected to see. I would have left our strikers up there, but it looks like Oluwase is actually coming in. Kim, stop it. Do not speak it into existence. Davies with it. We're happy to just eat the ball. Johnston with it. Moving forward. Has Larea over on the right-hand side. Give it to him. Nope. Stop it. Draw it back. Yeah, speaking into existence, reverse jinxing. Oh, the heart rate is starting to elevate. I'm not gonna lie to you. The big cross over to Liam Miller. Isla's gonna go over there to try to get it headed down. Davies not able to get it, and it's back to Isla. And here comes. Don't get a yellow. Just don't get a yellow. That was an ugly look. That was an ugly look. He's thinking about it. No, I don't think there was much more in that to end up getting a yellow. Do you? Oluwase, good for him. I think this is his third cap. So Oluwase not coming in up front. I thought that Buchanan would take Oluwase's spot, but they swapped out for different players. So we'll see where if they line up as I would have expected them as Buchanan were over on the right-hand side. Shoulder charge, nothing there. Davies holding it up and lost it. And it's going to go for a goal kick. Whew. Let's pour another one. Need to. 14 minutes in stoppage time from Canada advancing. Sub coming in here for Chile. In for the flopper. Davila. He gets points for artistic impression. Davila does. So Osario's still in the midfield. Buchanan, Okone, not an option yet. Maybe he comes in 7-8 minutes or so. And Buchanan does take Larea's spot over there. And so Oluwase must have come in. Was it Kyle Lauren? Was Lauren the other sub? I'm assuming so. There's Oluwase. Well done holding that one up. And it was Kyle Lauren and Oluwase. Open your account, sir. I'm pretty sure he hasn't scored one. That would be just a wonderful way to put a cherry on the top of this one. Davies into the box, and he's lost control and is rolling out. And he did the sumo's flop on top of. Davies just hasn't. Tell me I'm wrong. Davies hasn't looked good in about 2 years. I mean, for Bayern and for Canada, just not the same as the magic that he had the first season with Bayern and the World Cup qualifying year for Canada. I've said that before. Bombito, not really a good foot on that one. Just kind of flicked up in the air. It's flicked on. Osario knocks it down, gets it over to Liam Miller. No, too far, and it's going to be a throw-in coming this way. 12 minutes in added time as the clock ticks away, and I get a little bit more nervous with every second I look up at the clock. I might as well update the shots because I'm probably not going to again. I'm going to focus on this one as it's just 8-7. Whoo-wee. Yeah, a step slower and not as more Ronaldo and less Messi. Miller with it. Oluwase in the middle. Looking for him. Oh, that's a red. That's has to be a red on Oluwase. He just cleared out the keeper, and he had time to stop. Oh, it's going to be a yellow. We're lucky. He had time to avoid this. Sorry, he had the keeper didn't come into him. No, Oluwase, you got to stop there. They say it's harsh. No opportunity at that ball going through. Even after it passes, you've got to try and get out of the way. Do I think that the Chilean goalkeeper went to the right and stayed instead of and initiated some of the contact? Sure, but Oluwase has no business running into him like that. And I hate maybe that's the hockey. Yeah, that was a bad pass from Miller. Way too close, and Oluwase wanted it early. But I have to admit, sometimes I have a hockey influence on things, and there's a special rule that just don't touch goalkeepers, and I think it's at a standard that even despite the same principle existing in football, probably it's even more sensitive in hockey. And so incidents like that I have no tolerance for, even though he's wearing the white jersey, and I quite like this kid. And I say kid, he's 24, but it's his third cap. Like, he knows. He was even letting up. He knew that the pass was nowhere close to him for the first two strides, and then he just let it go. As long as they get the job done and we can hold on for 10 plus extra. Now, the first half, I think, had more injury time and more yellow cards, and they gave 4 minutes. But I feel like they're gonna have 8 or 9 on this one. Oh boy. Venezuela or Mexico looming in the distance. We're only in the 82nd minute here, so that's fascinating, RKO, that your guys are that. Yeah, and brilliant insight again from Kim. That's, the same sort of rules apply, I guess, is you sort of expect goaltenders, quarterbacks, goaltenders in football not to be, the level of protection over in ice hockey. It's usually self-protection because we allow the fisticuffs to occur. They'll just grab somebody even if it was their fault. Even if it was their goalkeeper's fault, you touch the goalkeeper, you're getting dummied. Oluwase trying to win the battle, can't. Liam Miller trying to win a battle, can't. That's chested out. It's going to be our throw. 82nd minute. Let the clock roll. And if you're not on it, so if you're not Liam Miller, don't go and take a throw in. Anybody else should. Davies has a yellow, so I don't want them getting a yellow for wasting time. But let somebody else go throw the ball in and take your time. Long throw, Oluwase not able to win it. David, nice little flick to himself. Tries to get it over to Tejan, putting it on the wheels. Can he go and save it? Nice little touch by Tejan. You got David out in front. Give it to him. Give it to David. Oh, it was there. Oh, my God. I felt that pass the whole way through, and it actually came almost into fruition. Oh, I want to see that pass again because I thought when it beat the first man, it was going to find David's foot. But David with it. Now Davies looking forward. Oluwase over to his right. Draws it over to David. Is he going to have a crack? No. Oluwase, flick it over. Flick it over to Tejan. Flick it over to Tejan. Instead he goes to Johnson. Buchanan. Is he onside? It's knocked down. Flag go up. Flag stays down. That would have gone. Ooh. Keep it coming, boys. I like this. Keep the pressure on there. We're not under threat if we're putting the pressure on. You got Semenostaki. Oh, too far. Missed Davies and Miller now. Do a pass. Make a pass. Make a pass. Back to Davies. Flicked up. Tried to find Tejan on his head. Couldn't do it. Got headed away. And here come. Don't get Darnell. I love you, Mr. Cornelius, but you're a center back. Stay in the back. You don't need to be up there in this mess. You don't need to be up there this far. Draws it all the way back to Maxime Crepeau. Why is Maxime all the way 45 yards away from the goal? Tejan. Tejan's got a point to prove. Moved over from Holland over to Serie A for the season. Had a smattering of games this year. Davies. Oh, come on. Quarterback should just fight it. That should be the tiebreaker. Don't go to weird NFL quarterback or tie-breaking rules. Just let the quarterbacks go and throw down. Osario spins it back. Cornelius. Oh, 6 minutes and added time. I'm hoping things in Argentina or in the Argentina-Peru match are the same, but even if Peru gets one, we're still okay. They have to score 2, which would be a miracle. I think the question really is does Chile end up saving something? Davies, you lost the ball. Why are you, as the captain, giving lip to Liam Miller? I'm getting harder and harder on Alphonso Davies just because I don't like it. Why are you giving lip to Liam there? You lost the ball. And you lost the ball where there was no opportunity to make a pass. And where's he supposed to go? Over to the right-hand side, there was no opportunity. Over to the left-hand side. So that was on you to be able to make a read on it and say, I'm too tight to the line and I'm going to just come back and save it instead of forcing something through or getting stripped. I say that as the greatest FIFA player who has ever played and has no ability on the pitch. Full clear. Yes. Yes. Marie, RKO, love it. So that really means there is Canada advances unless one instance occurs. I mean, Peru's not going to score 3 against Argentina. So we have 6 minutes in added time. Can Chile, with 10 men, pot one against Canada late for desperation? Well, there's the cross all the way across. Just let it go. Let it go. Goal kick. Take your time to find the ball. I don't know why Davies is running after that ball. Let it run. Let the goal kick. A goal boy, lad, girl. Yeah, that was a great ball from Alistair. And why Tejan? Great save by the Chilean keeper here. Because that would have ended it. And he shot right at him. Ugh. I guess that's why you're on the wing and not a striker. Yeah, that's the magic. Eustachio doing his job. Well done. To me, that is our captain. That is our best player as far as being controlled and smart and not on pure soccer football ability. Davies has all the raw tools. He does. He's been taking a step back to me as far as his quality of play, where the Eustachio just steady, constant, and always makes a smart play. Oluwase not able to get that one, and it goes back to the keeper. 87th minute. Chile gonna get it. Long ball forward and onside. Crepo has to come out and chest it away. Oh. Thank you, Max. Well, you make me nervous. Where was our back line on that one? We were missing Bombito over on the right-hand side. Cornelius kept the man on side and was over on the left, and they found him with Bombito nowhere around. Bombito coming back. Switch over to the other side. Loving this. Keep possession, and away we go. 57% possession, by the way. Knock on all the wood you can find. Eustachio bangs it off of the Chilean defender, and Davies is going to collect it. Slide it over to Bombito. Got to be frustrating for Chile if you go through this, because knock on all of the wood that you can find. An entire tournament, 3 group games, and not a goal. Like, you can't blame anybody when you don't score a single goal in 3 of your matches. Tejan Buchanan with it. Banged off. Going to be a corner. What do we got? 10 minutes left? What's the over-under on how many we're going to get? And now the faces are a little bit more despondent. The Chileans in the crowd. Short. Osario. Get it over to Davies. Oh, they're just going to keep it over. Tejan. Is he going to the corner flag already? He is. Interesting. Chile gets it. 9 points. We're sitting on 4. Chile with 2. Peru with 1. So there's the swap. Can only happen if Chile pots one here in the next 1+ added time minutes. Bombito with it. Decides not to go back to Max. He's just going to return it and kick it out. And we're going to have a throw in. They're looking for a ball. You might be ahead of us if you're saying that there's a header off a post. If you might be ahead of, this is what's going to happen? No spoilers, by the way, if you're here, is it's going to get kicked out and we're going to get a throw in 89th minute. Just a reminder as to where I'm here. Or was that in the Peru-Chile game? That game was just so ugly. There was no real serious opportunity for either side that I can remember. Oh, for Peru. Thank you. Don't give me those heart attacks. As we do have a Tozer bomb coming. There's Kim with it. The Tozer throw in, long ball. That wasn't a Tozer bomb. That was too flicked on. Oh, danger, danger, danger. Whew, Eustaquio. Just chest sit down with all the chaos. There's 2 Chileans over on the far side and managed to get flicked up over to the far post. They were there with numbers around them. And instead, it bounces up, and they ended up knocking it back to Maxime, who collects it. 90th minute, 6 minutes of added time. I'll take that. I thought that they could add as much as 8. And I'm okay if Maxime Crepeau gets a yellow card here. So you can push the agenda a little bit, sir. High ball. Headed up forward. Bombito, chest down, flicks it back over. Jumped over top. What? Somebody tell me how that goes the other way. Somebody tell me how that's a Chilean free kick. Or they called it a throw-in. They said no foul, so it's got to be a throw-in. See, the Chilean players don't even know what's going on because the play was so nonsensical. Eustaquio trying to find a Liam Miller. He gets to him. Liam kicks it around, dances around him. He's got one more to beat. Liam with a yellow, got to be careful. Davies with a yellow, got to be careful. Don't want to late. If we're going to advance too, you got to start worrying about those guys picking up another yellow and getting suspended as well. David over to Tejan Buchanan. Scores! Oluwaseyi with his first ever for Canada. And we are going on, baby. Oluwaseyi. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, sir. All the Canadian fans sitting there, complete disbelief. Just like, did that just happen? Oh, they're calling the flag. They said the flag was up? Oluwaseyi, watching. Oh, he's offside. He's offside. Damn it. No goal. Taken back. He was about 24 inches offside with the length of his leg from just below his knee. If I was the VAR going across. That flag was at dumb offside. Yes, it was. He had the space and time that he didn't need the advantage of getting forward. Bugger. VAR having a look. Yeah. Play on. Add another 30 seconds to 45 seconds to the end of the 6 minutes for that exciting but uneventful ultimately interlude. And my inability to catch that one, because that one was not that light. Like, that was almost half a... Yeah, like from the knee down on his right side, and he didn't have to be there. He already had position. He was on the inside, but he got overexcited. Pushed forward by Davies. It's going to be a Chilean corner. Chilean corner, 93rd minute, 94th minute. Right-footed outswinger coming. Everybody's coming forward here. Keeper sitting at the halfway line. Far post. Cleared away. Bombito, the defender, goes out and just says, I'll take care of this, and goes and chases it down. It gets cleared back forward. Osario going to hold it up. Let it roll out. Let it roll out. Let it roll out. And there we go. Take your time, boys. Take your time. It's over. So 0-0's good for me. I will take it. Bring on, I'm hoping, Venezuela or Mexico. I would like to see Venezuela just because we always see Mexico, even though I'd like to advance to the semifinal, and I think it's more likely to do that against Mexico. Miller in for David. So we're all men back. Taking their time to go off. I love the fact that we take the time, and they're used to this sort of gamesmanship as far as in South America. And if you missed it, that was Lichnowsky running over and pushing him in the back to get him off. I think they're all testy. Kamal Miller coming in, he's getting the lip early. I mean, if you're Chile, you're going home to some embarrassment. Like, this is Copa America. This is the first time since 2004 that you won't get out of the group stage. This is a team that's won this competition, and you show up and you don't score a goal, and you end up playing Canada, a qualifier, and you can't put a goal on them. And you can, like, if that's the outcome, now I say that with a minute left, does Chile have some magic in them, down in 10 men to shut everybody up? Takes a deflection. Crapeau was there, but that was Bombito just saying, you know what, I'm making sure. And oof. Says play on. Goes over to the far side. Alistair Johnston gets up. Doesn't get up high enough. Is that going to be a corner? So he gets it up to go for a corner. Tejan, can he save it? He keeps it in. Well done, Tejan. And out for a goal kick. Tejan Buchanan. Well done. Well done. Well done. I know. I found that I do it and it happens. I don't do it. It doesn't happen. And so, yeah, from his right thigh was the offside. That much offside with his right leg. Oluwase was. The pitch isn't... I mean, we haven't noticed it. I haven't seen any bad bounces or anything, but when you look at it, it just looks like it's a swamp, which for Florida, maybe you expect that. Long clearance down. It won't go right at the 96th minute. It's going to be a Chilean throw. They're going to be past the 6 minutes, but you're going to have the time added for the decision on the goal, no goal of Oluwase. So we are into one, maybe two more chances to get it down here as it's being held up. Diaz up against, just let it roll. Not enough, so you're going to clear it out and kick it out. This would probably be it. They're looking for a ball from the ball boy, and a fan gets it over to him, and away they go. Long throw going to be in. I would think that if we clear this, it's over. I think if we survive, we're on. It's all here right now. Let's go. Now we're going to take some time in the middle of the boxes. Somebody just got turf with the right hand. Grabbed him by the shirt and gave him a shove, and they're not even showing it now. Alistair Johnston smiling at him. That was the big number 22, the tallest guy that's in there, and I don't know who he mauled over, but anyways, I wish they would have kept it on because I missed out on that entire situation. Stillman, thanks for the subscription. If you... It's flicked on Eustachio, who's been there twice now. Sanchez with it. It's still a mess in the box. Sanchez. I like the fact he's... Crapeau! Woo! Grabs it. He literally, willed that into his hand. He was in his hand and he, did this whole thing to try to keep it moving forward as it bounced around. Eustachio couldn't get it out. Interesting, 2 corners in a row. He's the guy that ends up getting the clearance, but Sanchez does the loop flick over top, and he hoya, and saves it to himself. Whew! History is made! We're moving on. Ha 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 ha. It's over. Stop the clock. Actually, I want to go and see. I threw that out. I want to listen to see exactly what's happening here because the Chilean fans are despondent. Broken. The first major tournament advancement into the knockout rounds for Canada, and this is what we were hoping for. We thought we had it when we came out as the top team in Concacaf and beaten Mexico and beaten the US. We thought we're ready, we're good to go, and then we fall apart. Both combination of performance on the pitch and a whole lot of Canada soccer nonsense off the pitch. We weren't even playing games for a period of time through some of the international windows. So that was, yes, hard stopper and not really the most interesting, fascinating quality game of football we've ever seen, let's be honest. But as I'm finding, this is a byproduct of these Copa America matches. Is the South American style of football is physical, aggressive, cheap, and we fall into it. There's a lot of after the whistle stuff. Go get your seat at that Whitecaps game. Come and watch Wrexham. We're at the Pint for that one. If you are on the West Coast, man, I am loving watching the heartbreak. There is so much shock, frustration, and disappointment. Ha ha ha! Canada's for real, baby. We're coming. The big thing too, and I haven't mentioned it this broadcast and this stream, but I've done it in the past, is the big thing for Canada sitting at 50th in the FIFA rankings is we're right on the cusp of being able to get our players to get over to England. If you're above the top 50, you only have to play 70% of your team's international competitions to automatically qualify for a visa. If that doesn't happen, then you've got to find some other way, either through the special exemption rules or go to Europe and find a way to qualify and get minutes in a top domestic competition before you can go and play over in England. And I'm just watching to see if there's a little bit of drama here as they're kind of looking around. Kamal's in shock, but it looks to be mostly hugs. So getting these wins is important, and I don't think that Canada's necessarily a top 20 team, but I certainly think we're a top 30 team. But we've had to get some results, and we've looked like we've struggled in the last couple of years. Hey, Brendan, thanks so much for being here as always, buddy. Enjoy. Well, I guess you guys are probably next weekend with July 4th down in the U.S. Tinfoil on the knuckles next game. Yeah, we'll shut up during the anthem because I'm listening to the song. Well, the next one is going to be either Mexico or Venezuela. I mean, let's look at Group B just while we're at it. And another thing, before everybody signs out of here, if you're on the Red Horde and you're not over on Global Watch Along, feel free to go over to Global Watch Along and hit the subscribe button. If you're over on Global Watch Along, then feel free. Oh, we got a streaker on the... Not a streaker. Anyway, it wasn't a streaker, it was just a pitch invasion, but it was nothing major that came from it, except for the guy was dancing around the security and was doing a damn good job of keeping himself out there. If you're on the top 30, if they could score, yeah, that's going to be an ongoing concern. But we've got we've got the ponies up front. I think we just haven't been able to do it yet. But call us England, maybe. Play like garbage, never score, get results. Hey, I'd be okay with that. I will take my shots at England every chance I get. I love my wife. I went like this, not that she's dead. She's upstairs in the house. Anyway, feel free to subscribe mutually on both ones as we get things going. I'm getting close to 2,000 on the Red Horde. I'd like to get the Canadian watch-alongs going a little bit just for some fun when there's international windows that are on and an opportunity to do that. So I was going to bring open, and let's grab the laptop here as I do it. Bring open the Copa America Group B standings as we finish second, so that means we're taking on the top team. So it's going to be the winner of who comes out of that Venezuela-Mexico game, and I just want to see in what circumstance could it actually be Mexico, because I think it's most likely because Venezuela won 1-0. So Mexico's got Ecuador, and it may be Ecuador and Mexico are going to be playing certainly for second. But for Venezuela, they would have to be beaten by Jamaica. Unlikely, but not impossible. Jamaica still is such an odd squad. Jamaica has all the individual talent to actually be a really exceptional international squad. They just never seem to be able to piece them together. And I don't know whether that's finances and inability to get them together for training. I don't know why that's there. I did reach 2K subs. Hey, I'll take that as a celebration. 2,000 subscribers on the Red Horde in a year-ish, really, pretty much. I think it's pretty damn close to my anniversary, actually. So I will definitely take that. And the Global Watch Along's doing its little thing and ticking along. That's awesome. Yay! I'll have to come up with an Instagram little thing or something to celebrate. Going back and looking at this, so yeah, they'd have to lose to Jamaica, and then there would have to be a win by either Ecuador and Mexico. And by Ecuador, it would have to, if they won by one, they'd be drawn. And so Ecuador would have to win by 2 goals, score 2 more than Venezuela. Mexico would have to score 3 more than Venezuela. Right? 3. No, they'd lose by 1, so there'd be a +1. So Ecuador would have to be 2 to be clear. Mexico would have to be... Hold on. Let me do the math. +2. You lose. You end up with 1. No, Ecuador win in any circumstance. Mexico would have to win by 2. And that's not knowing the red card situation as well if it ends up in a crazy tiebreaker. But they'd have points as against the teams. And so because Venezuela beat Ecuador, yes, Ecuador would have to score 2. And Mexico, they would have to score... Anyway, it's a goal for difference situation. We'll figure that one out. Maybe I'll look into it a little bit more. I'm excited. Let's just focus on the prize. Not the prettiest game. Benefited from, you go back to the yellow cards, the double yellow cards. The first one, certainly a yellow in all circumstances. The second one against Richie Larea, I'm a little bit still, uncertain of. It deserved to be a yellow card, but as you heard reported if you didn't hear from the TSN broadcaster, the Canadian referees official who does the World Cup stuff in the MLS referees coaching, they do give some deference on those second yellow cards, recognizing that the red is going to happen. And is it clear there that you should have got that second yellow because it was the second? I don't know. I think I've seen that not given. It definitely deserved to have been a yellow, but given that 23rd minute, I think it was, you're going to end up kicking somebody out and they're going to be down a man for the entirety of the game. I'm sure that Chile is going to talk about that. There's going to be a lot of people upset about the refereeing and how we've now benefited from 2 red cards. But in both instances, they were deserved. In fact, in the Peruvian match, I think that they should have been down to 9 men. Mind you, if they were down to 9 men, Bombito deserved probably a red for that elbow to the chin. But VAR is there. They're looking at it and they're saying it's not excessive force. So you can lightly punch people and elbow people and headbutt people in the head. That's the sense that I'm getting. Anyway, Canada moves on. Climbing the ladder. We'll get some FIFA points out of this because we're going to play an extra game. And when is that game? Let's go to the knockouts. July 5th. Oh, that's a Friday. And I know that because I'm working from home that day anyway. So that's a home game. So while we'll be here for the Venezuela match, and I get to set that one all up, and you can watch tomorrow England versus Slovakia, Spain versus Georgia. Wouldn't it be amazing? Portugal throws a game to Georgia. Georgia comes out and knocks out Spain. Let's just talk about the narrative. If I was Portuguese, I'd be praying for that to happen. It would be the most amazing outcome of all time. They lined it up. England, can they score? Can they do a thing? Who knows? Poke a stick at them. Mexico, Ecuador, they're going to be fighting for their survival to end up getting an opportunity to play Argentina in the quarterfinals. And then you've got Venezuela trying to ensure that they don't lose to Jamaica and open the door on a goal 4 situation to slide into second and get Argentina instead of us. So we're there. We're in the dance. Would love to see us pull out another shocker, and which would probably bring us in a semifinal against Argentina. Can you imagine? Like, how mad is this whole Copa America thing? The United States loses to Panama. Canada's through to the quarterfinals. I think deservedly so, but also with some favor in the activities of the other side. I don't think the refs benefited them. And yes, Murray, as it always does. I think hockey did it well, though, with their offside rules, is they've then amended the offside rules to allow for more goal scoring and for it to be less... Like, if you're going to get so particular that on the rules, they've modified them to make it less likely to have an offside, right? And I don't know if they do that because they're being so formal to allow for there to be more goals. So, more goals is more fun. We'll see what happens in football, but... In any event, that's me going to sign off for this one. I'm going to finish my beer, go up and celebrate some food, and man, what a day. Canada, for the first time ever, through to a knockout match in an international tournament. A big one. It's a good day. It's a good day. Thanks for being here with me. Like, comment, subscribe before you leave, just to let it run its story, and we'll be back on July 5th for another one. Enjoy the long weekend for those in Canada, for those of my American friends who are going to get that next weekend, and wherever you are, if you have holidays, I guess, coming up, because I don't know all of them internationally. Thanks so much. Canada por la casa. And we're getting the people coming in to let us know their thoughts on everything. But congratulations for the classification. Hey, I appreciate it. In Dominus, Charlie, if I translate that right, even though I don't know my Spanish, I believe that is a legitimate congratulations. Much appreciated. And so, yeah, we'll be here again on Friday for a little bit more. Thanks, Canada Balls. Nice to have you join us. I hope, by the way, Canada Ball, if I don't know if you have a domestic club, but feel free on a Saturday or a Tuesday, if there's another game going on and you're catching a watch along, join on the Red Horde, and the whole Wrexham thing is a lot of fun. And if you've got Disney Plus, the greatest documentary out there, football documentary otherwise, it's a good one to watch. Fall in love with the club. There's thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds, millions of us, maybe. It's been a lot of fun, the whole Wrexham experience. So if you got Disney Plus, go to Welcome to Wrexham on Disney Plus and watch it. You will be binge watching. I can feel it. And you can add me on the socials and at the Red Horde and curse me for introducing you to the greatest football story. And it even gets better. Like the fixture stuff that came out, there's so much drama. I don't want to put any spoilers out there, but the first game, 5,000th game in the history of Wrexham, and they throw some drama in it. Then they have an EFL Cup. They throw some drama in it. It's almost like it's WWE scripted, but it's not. It's football, and it's amazing. So anyways, come on and join us and do your thing. And anyway,